Hello, everyone, and welcome in to the stream of the summer. That is what people are saying. I'm hearing them say it more and more. Justin Herzig, Liam Murphy, Pat Kerrane, Farid Shaheed, all of the winners of Best Ball Mania in sequential order to which they won Best Ball Mania here on the stream today. I feel pretty good. I think we are going to draft a minimum, Justin, of one finals team today. I don't know who it's going to be, but I'm feeling pretty good. I think this is going to be, it's August 6th. We've got some good camp information, but still plenty of ADPs that, all the value has not been sucked out of. Like drafts right now feel amazing because every time I go in, I'm reacting to something new that I just read on Twitter, that I just read in, one of my friends' articles that, Hayden and Josh just put out a new video. There's just always something new. It's not like drafting in June where I'm like, Braylon Allen got one good camp report. Let's put him up 20 spots in ADP.
You feel really sharp drafting now. Like, I'm not saying we actually are, but like we feel like we're making really strong, informed opinions compared to that like beginning of July where nothing was happening. We were literally doing the exact same thing over and over and then differentiating just to stay sane. Like, that's where those are the crazy. Now I feel like I'm actually making sharp decisions. I'm taking a player who hasn't been drafted and it's probably going to be the number 3 on a pretty good team. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of situations like that actually, where we've got Yoshi Voss in Cincinnati. We've got Ray McLeod in Atlanta. Not that I'm drafting Ray McLeod, but theoretically, there are several situations like that. Let's go ahead and hop in. I've got 65 Best Ball Manias left. So that's just a shade over 2 a day. Where are you at in Best Ball Mania right now? How many do you have left to do?
I've done about 55. So I'm at around 3 a day. And I've started ramping up. Like I was probably 0 to, I was probably 1 about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
So that's like, yeah, I went strong in this period. A little bit of, I think there's softer drafts. A lot of it is, this is when I think I have a little more of an edge just because, I mean, like you yourself, you live in the Athletic. You're literally breathing and dying in the information. It's so hard to kind of think of the majority of people who are drafting with us, who even the ones who are watching this and on Twitter are still in the top kind of 2 to 5% of knowing and paying attention to the information. The majority, they may catch one of these little nuggets that we're paying attention to. Right. I just think that all of us have such an edge right now as we enter a draft with 10 badges.
Yeah, well, look, that's a little bit of self-selecting because we are drafting live on YouTube. Let's see if these are all badges, but I don't recognize BSP. I recognize Chuck Bass. I recognize. Bass. So we will.
Yeah. GSK. Yeah. Okay. There's a few.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, to me, this is my number 5 is my favorite draft slot. So we are going to get my favorite player in fantasy football this year, assuming that GSK sticks to the script. I mean, I don't think we can make a bad pick at 5, but there definitely is a real differentiation. Boom. You got any issues with one Mr. Justin Jefferson?
No issues. So after stat chasing yesterday, listen to that. And this morning I'm talking to Sam, and Leone was in there as well a little, and we were talking about these first and second round wide receivers that you don't want to really draft their stack partner. And so Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, those were the 2 real ones we were discussing. And I just think there's a lot of interesting discussion around it because in the stat chasing, like Sam was bringing up things, and it makes sense. I want to draft wide receivers that I want to also stack with their QBs later on. That right. Feels better. That feels sharper, and it probably is sharp. So then I'm trying to think like, okay, but is there a corollary where is Devontae maybe dropping a tiny bit? Or maybe are we okay with an elite wide receiver being uncorrelated to our game stacks or our QB because that person, that elite wide receiver just has the ability to go off without the correlation. And I'd rather go Kirk and Trevor Lawrence later on, where I know that like Devontae can go off on his own and probably his projection is pretty high versus you go Tua now with Waddle and then you've got to get the one off later, which is a worse wide receiver. I think it's an interesting discussion that goes both ways because I'm trying to like talk myself into, can I be more okay as you are drafting the Jefferson, the Devontae, knowing I don't want to stack them?
So what I love what I love about that specific start is, one, I am okay taking McCarthy. Like, it's not a core part of my strategy or anything, but and the fact that you can like straight up get him in the 18th round is fine. But I actually think in a weird way it builds out crazy optionality to start that way, because you can make that. Oh, real quick, we are on the clock. I'm A-Chain here, but I'm always willing to listen. This is going to be a pretty wide receiver heavy room.
Our next pick's going to be what, 31, 32?
Yes.
29. Okay, I'm okay with H-N. I'm also okay with Olave. If you think it's too, but I'm good with this.
We are gonna have to probably make one wide receiver spot, or maybe we'd like to take a onesie, like, maybe a wide receiver instead of a tight end. But with the Jefferson Adams start, I like that you can be like, we can do Anthony Richardson and Josh Downs. We can do Kyler and McBride, or Kyler and Michael Wilson. Like, they're just, you've got a ton of optionality, and you're not locked in to a super combinatorically non-unique team, right? Like the Jamar, how often does the Amon-Ra St. Brown drafter take Jared Goff in the 11th round? Like, one of the highest clips in the draft, I would imagine, which is not even to say it's bad, but it's just one of the things that I like.
Yeah, and I mean, if you get Justin Jefferson, it's hard to get Mark Andrews and Lamar, because you got to take a chance on one of those and probably overdraft one by a little. When you're at the turn, like that McBride, Kyler, it feels better if it falls to you, but it also, you're fighting with the, Marvin Harrison drafter. Okay. And why I was asking earlier is like what pick we were going to be 29. I think 29, 30, I'm usually able to get another wide receiver that I like, the DJ Moore. Yep. I do think there's that drop off.
Huge drop off. Huge.
Right.
Yes. All right. Boom.
We get DJ Moore. Yeah. And I'm happy with that. Now, 2v2, H-N and DJ, or Olave and Kerrane. What are your thoughts?
I think weirdly enough, I think for redraft, I think it's the other one. Like, if this was like a managed league with waivers and stuff, I think you do actually prefer Kerrane Olave. But in best ball, where we don't care about the weeks where H-N gets 7 points, or we don't care about the weeks where it's a Rome Odunze week, so DJ Moore doesn't have the explosion. I think if you had to handicap that, who has the 5 highest individual week scores for that 2v2, you'd be like, the H-N DJ Moore side might have all 5 of the highest scores of those 4 players.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one. I prefer the Devon H-N and DJ Moore, particularly because I like Caleb. And we drafted Justin Jefferson. I'm not a huge JJ McCarthy kind of drafter, just because I don't think he plays as much as the market does. But like, so now if I'm going Justin Jefferson and Olave, oh God, what am I doing at QB here? Like, am I going for Jaden Daniels? I guess so. Like Jaden, Derek Carr, and someone, like, it feels kind of ugly there. So give me the H-N, give the DJ Moore. Now I'm happy drafting Caleb, and we can figure out the rest of the stacks later.
I couldn't agree more. I love having this. I love having the safety of Caleb. Caleb is probably one of my favorite guys to take there in round 10. I also will do Tua and H-N. I mean, not that it's like a core part of my strategy, but you can squint and see how that works.
I think it's a great stack. I very much like Tua and H-N. I think across the season, those two are highly correlated, and they're going to advance you. And I think in a 1 week sample, because the Tua Tyreek, Tua Waddles are so often drafted together, you're getting an actual uniqueness in the season that the Dolphins have the craziness, have crazy playoffs. Now you get to week 17, and you've actually got the unique ownership of the Tua and H-N.
All right, we are up in 2 picks. There should be a wide receiver. Well, I guess actually probably not. I think probably Zeno right here is going to take T. Higgins. So if he does take T. Higgins, we're already, he does not take T. Higgins. What do you want to do here?
Yeah. I don't love T, but I think
I don't love him either, but structurally that is the correct pick.
Yeah.
Which is
we're higher than it feels like any of us individually at ETR are on him, maybe besides Leone. I think Sherman said it yesterday where he was just like, yeah, I actually have 8% of him. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't love clicking it, but where he's being drafted, he's at the end of that kind of tier. And so I grab him because I need a wide receiver there.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty big drop off from Higgins to the 3 Chiefs wide receivers. That's how I have them ranked. I guess by ADP, Kirk and McLaurin are next. But I think there's a pretty big drop off, both like contingent value and floor from those guys. And if we didn't take Achan, so had we taken Olave and then taken DJ Moore, I think that would have been a spot to do elite tight end. So we would have taken Andrews and then tried to push Lamar around, I think is kind of the optimal strategy there. But when you've already got the running back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I also like. I like that start a lot too. It's why drafting from 4 and 5 to me, really, to me, that is the cheat code this year. Like I've said this a bunch on the stream, but I feel like the winner is really destined to come from 4 or 5, just given they have the best part of the 2-3 turn. They have the best part of the 4-5 turn. And then often at 6-7, they get the last end of that tier of wide receiver before it gets to like Cortland Sutton, Lockett, kind of the dust ball wide receivers.
All right, let's do a fun bet. Winning team for BBM.
Yeah.
You get 4-5. I'll take 1 and either 6 or 7. You can choose.
What do you want to do here, real quick?
Yeah, I like Rashid.
Okay. All right. Say the bet again.
You get your 2 positions of 4-5.
Okay.
I get position 1, and I don't really care either 6 or 7. I'll let you choose. I can go 7, so it differentiates away from you.
You get 1 and 6 because I think there is an edge to the Bijan Brees teams that's like kind of hidden, where their 3rd round pick sucks, but they get the guy who might be the number 1 scoring overall wide receiver. Yeah, I will do that. I will do that. I mean, 1 obviously has a lot of the same structural advantages, but they have a running back instead of the elite wide receiver.
Yeah, and this is a personal thing, and it's, to be honest, it's probably more of, I think I get more of an edge from the 1 than maybe the market takes advantage of their edge from the 1, because so often you see a McCaffrey and then they waste it by grabbing like other early running backs. But and I'm not saying me specifically, obviously people who are watching this, the sharper ones, like you grab McCaffrey, you wait a bit. I just think there's such an edge to getting McCaffrey, like just pure projection. His upside is just so high. And then also you're getting 2 wide receivers with picks 20, 24, 25 that are not that much different than what you're getting at picks 14 to 28. So like you get the way better first round, then you get a way better 3rd round than the later. With yours in the 4-5, I don't think that's bad because the 3rd round is pretty comparable to what I'm getting. Right. I think there's such a disadvantage if you're in that kind of 10 to 12 right now.
I mean, it's a massive disadvantage, and it's an extra disadvantage because of the question marks with Puka. I mean, like I did not move Puka in my rankings. I'm not overreacting to it yet. In fact, I'll probably end up with more Puka this year than I would have, because of this injury. But I was also big. Like I've got 16% Cup, which feels pretty good right now because Cup is going to be a big mover over the next, 10 days or whatever. But those Marvin Harrison Puka teams, that's kind of like the one route from 10 to 12 that I think is like GTO right now. But even that is so much worse. I mean, that's so much worse than Justin Jefferson, Devin Achane, or McCaffrey and Neighbors or whatever. Like it really is so much worse.
Yeah. All right. For our bet, how about loser funds a big dog that we draft together on stream next year?
Absolutely. Deal. Ship it.
I love it. I've got 1-6. You've got 4-5.
Absolutely.
That's fine.
And then I guess no bet if it's another slot.
No, then we'll draft together and just split it. Okay, we're up.
Okay.
I like Mixon. I like Walker. I like Mixon more than Walker. Houston, Seattle, Chicago. We like, so we get that correlation.
Let's take that correlation. That gives us another little boost to taking Caleb. And I like Walker. I like Walker a little bit more than Mixon.
Early in this offseason, I was a little scared off of him, and I was very bullish on Charbonnet. New coaching staff, the lack of success rate with Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet being a complete back. But those recent reports, the coach speak out of Seattle,
they've been big.
I've been loading up a little more on Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, Gretsch has been talking about, he's been doing like some screenshots and some stat polls from the Washington offense that Grubb was in charge of, just about, how fast they're going to play, all that stuff, which has me. I mean, I'm a Kenneth Walker bull anyways, because he was put on this earth to hit home runs in the NFL, which is so what we want for this scoring. But if they can also be an efficient passing offense on top of that, then it's all set. Yeah, the chat is pointing out that this start I mean, that's like from the one. It's pretty crazy. You know, CMC, Devonta, Cooper Kupp, then Lamar and Andrews. Like you've got a crazy, crazy start there. It's not that picking from the one is bad. I mean, I think Herzig, it's probably pretty even because I think the equity does really drop off after 5. But it really all comes down to CMC, I suppose.
Okay, we're gonna get to an ugly spot here.
Yeah, this is brutal.
There's no QBs that we want. What's the tight end that's next up? Kittle or Ingram? Are they both gone? Oof,
They're both gone. Yeah, it's really bad.
Not Hopkins. Oh my gosh.
I think we probably take a running back and then try and do hyper fragile, like where we just like only do 4. I don't know, because I don't really want to take Hopkins. It's very early for Jameson Williams or Addison. You know, Kyler, and then we do a back stack.
I agree. I would honestly, I would go Kamara here and just say, like, you know what? This is the very few Kamara teams I'm getting.
You know what? I mean, how can we not take Alvin Kamara when it's Justin Herzig
in honor of BBM
on the all? Yeah, come on, on the all BBM day. How can we not take Alvin Kamara on the Herzig team? And I don't have very much of him, but you know, it's this is one of these August things that you have to think about, which is when you're drafting in a vacuum, when you're just thinking about the season in May, June, and July, and you're not watching Kamara at training camp, you're not hearing what the coaches are saying about him. You're like 28-year-old running back. His efficiency is way down. The offense is going to be gross. And then you get to training camp and you hear Dennis Allen talk, and you hear the offensive court, Pete Carmichael talk, you hear Carr talk, and you're like, oh yeah, their plan is just to have Alvin Kamara get the ball 23 times a game until he can't do it anymore, because that is what, yeah, it's an S tier vibes based pick. Like that's exactly what that was. There was no way we were not going to take Kamara there.
And there's something that I think, you know, Pat's talked a little about with the J.K. Dobbins. I've been talking to Leone about it as well. We have these, our opinions, the market, it already says, hey, this player should be on this ADP a month or two ago. And then we get our conceived notions. Kamara, we just don't like him as a player and all this stuff. But like, we also have to react to what other news around him has happened. And like the Kendra Miller stuff, well, we baked in that there was Kendra Miller risk early on. Now that we know that Kendra Miller is dropping,
don't really feel that way anymore.
Why aren't we elevating the Kamara? And I think that's happening. Like Vidal drops a bit. We realize he's not as much of a risk.
So and Dobbins is way increases.
Up. Right.
Yeah.
So like there is a little bit of like, maybe we should actually be raising Kamara a little. I get it. Also, I wanted to go backwards. Do you realize how much Wake Forest bias you have? I'm an alum, so like, but Kenneth Walker, not Michigan State.
I really do. Dortch and Walker. It's so true. And A.T. Perry was there as well, who I liked last year. I do not like A.T. Perry this year, but
a little too tall for you. But you know,
I am weirdly biased towards Wake Forest. I didn't know you were an alum there. That's interesting.
I am.
Okay. Again, we're still in a pretty gross range. Yeah, Burrow. We've got Burrow live. We've got Caleb live.
Clear choice here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. I would like to. Who behind us? Okay, 2 of the teams behind us has a tight end. I would love to sneak Bowers through on this one. I don't know if we will.
Bowers just went.
All right. Well, then we're definitely not going to be able to sneak him through. All right. Yeah, I think. And then this next tier, there are a couple wide receivers who I would possibly click here. Burrow. Bang. Burrow and T.
I was hoping Njoku was going to fall back to us because that's about his ADP. That would have been a nice fit for this team.
Yes. Yeah, this is probably going to be a 3 tight end team, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Are you doing a lot of I'm once I miss out on Bowers, it's almost 100% a 3 tight end team, but even sometimes with Bowers, I'll do like Bowers, Fant, and then a round 18 guy or something. Yeah, once it gets past Kittle, it's probably a 3 tight end team.
All right. Where are the other Chicago wide receivers we need to worry about? DJ Moore is...
Keenan is right to the left of us. GSK has Keenan.
That's good. We've got the edge on him for 116 to 117.
And
so then Rome is
to our right. Yeah, Rome is to our right.
You can't ever trust a glue eater.
You really can't.
All right. Well, if he wants Caleb at 112, he's going to get him. Yeah, otherwise, we'll get him at 116. If we get Burrow and Caleb, I'm happily stopping with just those two, and then we can go 2
For
QB,
sure.
3 tight end.
Yeah.
If we don't get Caleb, maybe Tua falls to us.
For sure. Yeah.
Where's Waddle?
Waddle is, I bet he's to our left. No, Waddle's to our right. Waddle went at 14 to the Anthony Richardson team. So,
okay, so
that would
he'd be reaching, but it's possible. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think
let's
we
give ourselves
do,
another QB out in case we don't.
That's what I think either of these two guys is fine. I feel pretty good about our running backs. I don't feel the need to add a Moss or a Javonte or a Brian Robinson here.
No.
Palmer goes. Shaheed, Lockett, because Love is still there.
Yeah, but he's not lasting to us.
No, he's not gonna last.
Dak's not giving us anything. Yeah,
Dak's
I think Shaheed's fine.
anything.
And we have Alvin Kamara, which highly, highly correlates with the Derek Carr.
For sure.
Sets us up that if Caleb falls to us, we take him. We can make a last minute decision on Tua. Otherwise, you grab Derek Carr and it's a 3 QB, 3 tight end team, which I don't love, but like,
I don't know. I think with Burrow and T, I don't know. I think we are good with 2. I mean, where are you at? I'm going to guess that you are not a Justin Fields drafter right now, as his ADP is rising. I'm gonna guess you're very against that. All the ETR boys, Levitan was saying this on ADP Chasing yesterday. Amico is on this. You're all big Russell Wilson starting week 1 guys.
All right, so I drafted about 5 of Justin Fields in the past 48 hours.
Okay, let's go. Ball, Herzig. Ball.
I'm on the risk was not worth it 4 weeks ago. What we've learned in the past couple days.
No, literally, even today, it's happening again today. He's hit Pickens for 2 long touchdowns already today.
And also, like, if I take him in the 15th, it's not that much different than other people who were taking him in the 17th or 18th. So, like, right. And I've got more information. It's similar to this J.K. Dobbins thing. Like, the J.K. Dobbins, we have more information, even though I didn't like it, and there's still a lot of negatives. We need to take in that new information. And the other is I've done it more on DraftKings than Underdog, where I'm already grabbing 3 QBs.
3 QBs a lot.
Yeah. But Levitan said something that I fully agree with. When I am doing it, I'm doing it in a 3 QB team that I don't have an elite QB. Because if you already have the elite QB, like, you're drafting this because you didn't allocate capital to QB position early on, and you're missing out on the upside that you want at the QB position from a single week. If you've already done both those things, now you're just taking that additional risk of a 0, or even when it does hit, you're not capitalizing on your hit because he may not even outscore, or not by much, your early QB.
100%. I like him in like a Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Bo Nix style build. I also have done it a couple times where I've been like one of the late buys, like Lamar and Fields, where Lamar's buy is not until week 14. I've done that a couple times. I mean, that's probably much thinner. Caleb and Purdy go.
I know.
At the turn.
How do you feel about Fields in a Burrow, Derek Carr, Justin Fields team?
I love it. I could not be.
I think that's a good fit.
I could not be any more into it. A crazy fall here on Brian Robinson.
Yeah, that Tua. I mean, I'm sorry. Let's see. Is Tua still available? He should be.
Yeah, Tua's still there. Nothing
He's
is
likely going to go if we let him pass us. But
do we have a Dolphin behind us? Oh yeah, we've got. The Tyreek drafter has Lamar, so the Tyreek drafter behind us has Lamar.
I think we let him fall. I don't think we need to reach on him.
I agree. We are up.
I like Goddard. I want to grab Goddard. Let's get ourselves at least one tight end.
All right, there we go. We got a little lifeline at tight end. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think that Star Tours should take. I mean, maybe he will, but I think with Lamar, I think you let him go.
Now, but do we even want? Okay, what does our team look like if we grab Tua here? Are we going to grab Derek Carr and make it 3?
Yeah, I think if we're going to do 3, I think we let Tua go. I think we do. Yeah. I think we do Fields and Carr, or Nix and Mims or May and Baker. He takes Rico Dowdle. So Tua will be there at our next pick, but we just have to decide what we want to do.
No. Okay. No, he still has another one coming back.
Oh, sure. That's right. Okay.
And also we could let Tua go, and sometimes Tua falls to 140 if both
he does all the time. Yeah,
right.
Because the Tyreek drafter has Lamar, the Waddle drafter has Richardson. It would definitely be a scenario where you see Tua fall quite a bit.
Okay. If we don't get Tua, who are you looking at here?
I would say Rico Dowdle, but he just went. We could do Freiermuth to set up Fields. Can
you scroll up on the running backs?
All different
6, 10,
buys.
12. Pretty
6,
good.
10, 12.
Okay.
Week 12 for Burrow. Yeah, I like Gus Edwards too.
Yep.
He's
fully on board that Gus.
Yeah.
Okay, there he goes.
Okay. Polk gives us another quarterback out. Freiermuth gives us Fields. Kind of the end of a tier here at running back compared to when we're going to get back up. Like, I don't love taking Zeke, but I guess we don't need early season production at all because we have Walker and Kamara.
Let's discuss Freiermuth. It's a position of
he goes.
Okay, forget it.
This is a really bad spot. I really hate this.
Brandon Cooks, give us the correlation with Goddard, and it's a position that I'm okay with at this spot.
Yeah. Would you? Him or Polk? Polk gives us another
Cooks.
Quarterback.
I'd rather go Cooks.
Ship it.
Especially
all right, there we go.
With this rumors going on right now, and yeah.
That was pretty brutal. Yeah, I guess we could have taken Myers for week 17. I mean, Jacoby Myers versus Cooks.
But we have Cooks for week 17.
Yeah, it was the same. It was the same thing.
Yeah. Mini stack versus full stack with Derek. I get it. Yeah.
Sure. I don't know about that one. I mean, the Cowboys obviously are the best offense of that combination there. Like I've gotten kind of scared about doing all the Patriots backstack stuff because the reports have just been brutal.
Run.
Yeah.
Here's a fun Cowboys one. I think 25 teams scored 38 points or more in a game last year. The Cowboys did it 6 times. The next highest was 3. And in those 6, in the top 10 highest, I think the Cowboys had 3. So the Cowboys have the type of offense that they can put up a lot of points. They're also the type of team that is willing, and there's not much different from last year to this year, is willing to kind of put up those high scores. I think that's got to be somehow accounted for with our best ball when we care about spike weeks. Okay, we are almost up. Tua officially did go. We can wipe that off, which is good.
We're kind of getting killed in this one.
I think Jerome Ford's a screaming value. Oh God.
Algier, McLaughlin, Dobbins, Leggett gives us another quarterback.
All right. What about tight end? We have this end of the tier of tight ends. Schultz, Kmet,
Hawkinson.
And I would just go Schultz with an ADP aspect and position if need.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of him, and we've got the optionality to do 2 tight ends if we want, or 2 quarterbacks if we want. Yeah, I did.
That's fair. It's not a good tight end room, but Schultz and Goddard is fine when what are you really gaining over them with a 3rd tight end, unless you're going for the upside, which is a valid argument.
I mean, that's just that Chase Brown goes 2 picks before, Rico Dowdle goes 2 picks. Freiermuth goes the pick before. That was just a pretty annoying little run of 4 picks there. Sometimes the room doesn't go your way, guys.
I was going to say, honestly, we're in a shark draft. You're in a stream draft for with champs on champs. And when you're drafting at, Monday at 6:00 and people have had a little drink or 2 and you don't have 10 badges in your room, things fall to you.
Yeah. The 12 hole is a psycho, dude. The 12 hole has Purdy, Caleb, and Justin Herbert with AD Mitchell uncorrelated. He's just vibing,
no badger, dude. And that's a no badger. We just need more. So who's saying in the chat that badges don't matter anymore? Yes, they do. They don't matter as much as they used to, but badges may not matter. but no badges matter if that matters. If that means
For sure.
makes sense.
I definitely agree with that. All right, I think we take a running back with this pick, and I think we can consider being done with a running back room of all different bye weeks, A-Chain, Walker, Kamara, whoever we take here. We don't have to be done. There's nothing that a streamer loves to say more than we could be done at running back here. That is the song of the summer. All right.
Okay.
I think it's
Call me
Dobbins.
crazy, but I would go Mooney and make
Mooney.
this a 5 running back team.
All right, Mooney.
It gives us 3-5-8-2.
3-5-8-2.
I don't like stopping at 4 running backs with our 4th running back being this bad.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. That's actually yeah, Mooney. This is related. Why that was easy for me to click is obviously early in the offseason, I was drafting Rondale Moore in like the 18th round with my Kirk Cousins stuff. That is like deader than dead, like extremely dead, like could not be more dead. So I need to start balancing those bags out. Not ideal there.
The reports on Mooney have been fantastic. And again, when we're not sure on the 3rd wide receiver and we think it's going to be Ray McLeod, who hasn't done anything in his however much time he's had in the NFL. And then we have Pitts, who like we're bullish on, but like there's still some risk there. Like Mooney can be, a high volume part of that offense. But it was more so, I don't like going 4 running backs with J.K. Dobbins as your 4th
because you're getting 7.3 games in a good season. I think that's a good point. Had McLaughlin not just went, then maybe I would have been more into it. But I think we did the right thing.
If Algier was there, I would have been happy with it. I think there's a strong drop off after Algier.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. Yeah, I mean, I like. Obviously, McLaughlin is a little bit better in full PPR, but I just like him because I'll probably have none of him in seasonal because he's overpriced and all the high stakes seasonal stuff because you'll literally never know when to start him. But he will, I don't know, I think he'll have 2 games above 17 underdog points or whatever, and that is pretty fine for his cost.
Yeah, that's so true. I do no seasonal anymore other than my one like friends keeper league, but like McLaughlin is probably the least relevant seasonal.
So irrelevant. Yeah.
Right. There's literally won't be a time, doesn't matter how many injuries you have, that you would trust playing Jaleel.
Yeah. Javonte and Estime could both get injured tomorrow, and McLaughlin's role would not change. He would be the same guy in
Smajic Perine is probably then taking the same amount of volume as like you'd expect with those other guys. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We are back up in 3 picks. There are actually, to be honest, there are some running back names here. I mean, we are also to the part of the best ball season where I am taking guys like way ahead of I basically round 14, round 15, I'm kind of disregarding.
Can you go to QB real quick?
Yeah.
Derek Carr, what's his ADP?
Derek Carr's ADP is 200.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. I like running back here.
Yeah, I think running back.
I like Ray Davis. I like Gibson.
Sure. I love, as evidenced by my displayed exposures here, I really like Antonio Gibson. I really like Ray Davis too. That's a lot of these guys. Which one do you want?
Is there any correlation? I don't think we really ended up with any Chargers or Jets right now.
No, no correlation.
Let's go ADP.
Gibson. Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
I was going to say
ADP Davis, and maybe we grab like a Braylon Allen later. And
perfect. Yeah, Braylon is like my he was my round 18 guy du jour, but you can't get him now. Yeah, that was a good moment. What is Derek Carr's ADP? Derek Carr. The thing is about Derek Carr is only people in our bucket ever want to take him. No one is going into their Best Ball Mania draft being like, oh man, let's do it. Let's draft Derek Carr.
I mean, when a beat reporter has probably driven his ADP down just because of his dislike of the entire Saints, it's funny. Like all the reports out of New Orleans are the team's falling apart. The offensive line is horrible.
Yeah, they asked Chris Olave the other day. They said, "Is there anything that kind of seems good about the season?" And he's like, not really. Not great. Not what
I
you
heard
want."
they had a good practice a couple days ago. So yeah, that's good.
Shout out to them. I mean, the thing is they play in Coors Field. The Colorado Rockies are terrible. So, but it doesn't really matter. All right, we are fading GSK doing one thing. I knew he was going to do it.
No,
I saw he had one quarterback. I knew it was coming. I knew it was
He's
coming.
in the chat too. Does he have Pickens? We'll look afterwards. I'd say take Gibson. I think that's a really strong fifth running back.
Yeah, and that gives us another bailout. I didn't want to say anything.
It's fine. Okay.
I looked at his team. I saw that he just took Geno. He had one quarterback. I knew it was coming.
It's fine. Yeah. He took Freiermuth. I was thinking that we had Freiermuth too. That's legit. That's fair. You planned for that. That was the right move.
No, right, it is what it is.
Okay, so we built up the Drake May backstack with the Gibson. I think that and Carr are only two options right now. Who else is available at QB?
We can take
obviously
there are a couple different things we can do. I mean, we could take JJ McCarthy. We could take one of the Broncos and Bo Nix. We could do Bryce Young, Jatavian Sanders if we wanted to do 3 and 3. There are a couple different different ways.
Hey, okay, talk to me about JJ McCarthy, because right now I'm of the opinion that he may not start till week 12.
I think the thing that makes the most sense, given that Sam Darnold is their quarterback, is to start him in week 7 when Hawkinson is back. So they play a game in somewhere in Europe. I don't remember where, in week 5. Then they come back. They're on bye in week 6, and then they play again in week 7. And I believe it's a home game. And, actually him sitting until week 12, May sitting until week 12, really would go against all of the recent available NFL evidence. No guy really sits like that anymore. By and large, it's actually weird when they don't start week 1. Chris Diaz is right. Their beginning of their schedule is pretty brutal. So I think it makes sense to have Darnold and Mullins play in those games. But their week 7 game
is home versus Detroit. Week 8 is at the Rams. So here's the tricky part for me. Week 10, week 11, week 12 are all on the road. And it's at Jacksonville, at Tennessee, at Chicago. So it's tough to want to put him in right before that as you go on the road. My mental made up model is I could see at Chicago, game 12, they're now out of the playoffs. It's time to put him in the second half. And then he comes in and gets his first start at home against Arizona, which is week 13. That's where I did my hypothetical craziness.
Well, on a 3 quarterback team, that's still probably okay for the playoffs. Obviously it's not ideal. I'm also McCarthy is a bad prospect. I was not into him. And the more I dug into it, I was like, well, actually, he's kind of Trey Lancey. He's kind of Trey Lancey in the sense of the sample that we have. Yeah, he could be anything. You want to know what really sold me?
He could even be a boat. I know.
He could even be a boat. Let's make this pick, and then I will try and sell you a little bit more.
I was going to say 16-17. I think we go QB and leave our last pick as a wide receiver because if we need to get an extra stack. If Will Levis falls, I think we could backstack with Tyler Boyd or Treylon Burks.
I'll do any of these guys. I don't really care. So we can take Hyatt.
I think we can get Derek Carr with the next one. I was looking. Okay. I don't think we're going to get fought.
I prefer. Okay. Levis, and let me put Burks. All right.
And Boyd as well.
And okay. On JJ McCarthy, the thing that sold me was that he had a faster throw velocity at the combine than Joe Milton, where I was like, because I was just thinking he's not that athletic. He's kind of skinny, all that
short
stuff.
King
and then
Summer.
I was like,
yeah,
short King Summer, all that. And then I was like, well, that in and of itself doesn't matter. But to me, it shows that he's able to use the physical tools that he has in like in a way that matters. I don't know. And the TCU game that a lot of the scouts pulled their prime film from. I mean, like, obviously he's got huge bust potential. A quarterback who goes outside of the top 5 is like more likely to bust than to not bust. That's just the math of it. But yeah, he's our, I mean, we don't have to take him now because we just did Levis, but I'm leaving the light on.
Wait for someone to snipe Derek Carr, and then we're going to be making more decisions.
Oh, then we can take May.
Yeah.
JJB did take Chikakonkwo just to really not leave us a handle.
But just to, so you were kind of pushing for the Drake May. The reason why I didn't want Drake May in this scenario is if we went Drake May and then Derek Carr went, and now we were stuck with Drake May and JJ McCarthy. Now we have
we're
two
super
QBs that we don't know when they're starting. Yeah. So that's where I wanted the Levis. Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually interesting. I mean, what's a better correlation here? Carr and Shaheed, May and Gibson, or McCarthy and Jefferson? I mean, we got 3 different.
I think it's Carr, Shaheed, and Kamara.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. It's definitely Derek Carr. Good call. Derek Carr, welcome to the team, and Josh Wiley, welcome to getting drafted for the first time in Best Ball Mania 5 here on the channel.
Hey, pulling up Derek Carr's ADP from 200 to 197, doing our part.
Man, people are absolutely thirsty for the stream, Herzig. This is the most live concurrence I've ever had. They are in to Justin Herzig drafting Alvin Kamara to defend his crown.
I mean, nothing has changed. I feel like I was talking last night on a pod about how we're full cycle from literally a couple months ago. I was drafting so much Johnny Wilson before the draft, and now I'm back drafting Johnny Wilson. Like, this is even more full cycle from Alvin Kamara, and I don't know, what was that, 1999 to like, yeah, now.
Chad, great man. Welcome to the channel. You're already in the Discord, so you really are just supporting. I am, in all honesty, I am actually, I would never say this if it was not this far into a stream, but I actually am leaving the light on for Treylon Burks, truly.
Hey, not often a rookie first round wide receiver is kind of forgotten about in year 3 as much as he has. So like,
he's more alive than Quentin Johnston. Treylon Burks, I'll declare it right now.
Ooh.
He's more alive than Quentin Johnston.
How is that not? Yeah, next, like, ADP or ship chasing, Quentin Johnston first, Treylon Burks. Like, someone needs to make that bet. Like, just the most irrelevant first round wide receiver bet that can be made right now.
Yeah. Honestly, I am also in this spot. I'm okay leaving Levis just on his own. I don't know how you feel about that, because there are other good 18th round picks too. Like, I don't feel like we have to take Treylon or Boyd. Boyd is still there, but
I would put Boyd as, like, yes. I'm willing to agree on the Burke. Like, someone in chat was asking, like, don't you feel bad about having like Levis when other people that would come into the finals with a better Levis stack? Let me tell you, like, we're drafting Levis, like, not for that week 17. Like, sure, we'd love to
drafting
have
Levis for like week 12 when Derek Carr is on bye.
Right. And maybe week 16 where he gets to help you get out of that squad.
Two rushing touchdowns.
Okay.
All right. We got to ask ourselves.
Of course he is.
We got to ask ourselves if we really do want to take Treylon Burks.
Arizona, LAR. I mean,
Wilson correlates. Andre Yoshivas is for sure.
He's got to be gone. This is a stream. Yeah. I mean, Dortch is your boy. I'm okay with Treylon Burks, though. I think Treylon Burks probably does make more sense than
he does.
Yeah.
Opportunity. I mean, it says opportunity knocks in his underdog blurb. All right. That is for Soccer Dave right there. We did it. We got a Treylon Burks draft and mention. Yeah, Jacob, ridiculous. There are 516 live concurrents and only 20% of you have liked the stream. Embarrassing, guys. Truly. It really is. Okay.
Also, when you say David Kitchen, don't you also have to start off saying like NFL reporter, source breaker?
How did he know? What I want to know is
how literally saw him. He just saw him around town. 100%. He knows the realtor or something. Like, it has to be the most fun, just personal realtor style connection.
David Kitchen breaking news and only getting 9 likes on his tweet when like literally if you just made up a rumor about Brandon Ayuk right now, you'd get like 200 retweets,
Oh,
1,100
would you?
favorites. Yeah.
Would
I didn't
you?
make it up. I didn't make it up. Herzig, I did not make it up. I was recording a podcast. I checked Discord. I saw that edited Ayuk photo, and I was like, whatever, I'm just going to tweet it. Because
I
the
saw
athletic
it.
stuff is doing so well.
It shows up
I
on
got
my
owned.
feed. I go to export it to put it in our Slack chat in ETR. And then when I clicked on it, it said
Gone.
this post has been deleted. I was like, oh, thank God. That was definitely okay. Good.
Yeah. I mean, I really Pittsburgh is a terrible spot for him to go. I actually please everyone don't leave the stream en masse right now. I want him to go to New England because I think that Drake May is good, and I think Drake May playing with Brandon Ayuk would be fun. That is a minority opinion. Everyone in the world right now wants to be as low as possible on the Patriots, but I think it would be fun. I think it would be fun.
Yeah, I think from like a projections, like not worst landing spot, New England's
it's the worst. They're
the
projected to score the fewest points in the NFL. It's
Pitt's got to be bottom 3 too. I'm trying to think if there's someone as well that I would put between like they're just going to throw so few times. We literally saw what happens when you have an alpha wide receiver and an Arthur Smith offense. It doesn't work out.
Not ideal. It's not ideal. Okay. You like Johnny Wilson. You're Johnny Wilson, bro. I gotta tip my cap to you. I was an Aeneas Smith, bro. I mean, I literally can't get confirmation that Aeneas Smith has even ever been to the state of Pennsylvania. It's really bad. I mean, so Johnny Wilson's going to win that job.
I was a Johnny Wilson bro before the NFL draft. And because he had that really unique kind of unicorn profile between being the wide receiver and the tight end, the athleticism aspect, a red zone threat, but then draft comes and I think he went 6th round. I'm watching the draft. I'm just like, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And then you see it goes 6th round. But at least he went to the Eagles. So now there's like this tiny little hope that maybe he can. And I don't care about the number 3 wide receiver job in Philly. Like, it's not a valuable commodity. But if you can get that and then there's an injury, now that does become valuable. Maybe you hit a couple touchdowns as just random throughout the season because he is a red zone target. But more importantly, if you can get that playing time and trust and connection, if there is an injury, now you have that opportunity to elevate. So, like, I am by no means like heavy on Johnny Wilson. I'm right now, if I have Hurts, I'm willing to throw him in at the end. But like, yeah, Aeneas Smith, I don't know how many times I've said his first name out loud. It's not one I'm comfortable pronouncing. He was 4th round, 5th round? I know he was before Johnny Wilson. So like,
he was an elite kick returner. And that's all I've got. Ryan Jones says his buddy's a beat writer for the Eagles, and he said he's the worst wide receiver who ever got drafted he's ever seen.
So you know who the Eagles drafted a couple years before as a first rounder. I think
I am aware. I am aware. All right, let's see if we made any mistakes on this team. We did Jefferson, A-Chain. I mean, knowing how the draft went, would you have done Olave or Ayuk or Kupp over A-Chain, or are you happy with that?
Because I would have gone Kyrie in the next one, and we're in the same situation.
DJ Moore, T. Higgins, Rashee Rice, all of those in a row. No issues there. Kenneth Walker, I think, was definitely the right pick.
I process-wise, I agree with T. Higgins. Results-wise, like, we missed out on the tight ends, and I'm trying to figure out what we could have done differently. But we could
have taken Andrews instead of T, and then hope for the
risky.
Lamar. It's very risky hard. At 5. Yeah.
Right. Later on, we could have gone Ingram instead of Kenneth Walker, but I definitely want Kenneth Walker there. It's tough.
I think we could have taken Kyler over Kamara and set this up to do Dortch or Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson where we took Mooney, Dortch instead of Traylon, and maybe we feel a little bit better over it. And we didn't get a chance to take. We did not get a chance to take Brock Bowers. I would have definitely taken Brock Bowers at 92 in that scenario. That's the thing. So I agree with the chat that obviously like it's fun and sexy to get Bowers, but there are so many teams that have Bowers at 101, at 98. Like you can't. No. Taking him at 78 is really not that ideal.
if you're doing one high stakes one and you really want him on that team,
Then yes,
that's more valid. We have a portfolio. You're doing 150 of these. You can't start drafting Bowers at 77.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's actually a great point. If I, if I was like going to go do a big dog, then I would consider it, right? Smaller field. I'm trying to have like Bowers is my most drafted tight end. I'm trying to have big Bowers bags, but on combination of having Bowers as my most drafted tight end, that means I want to have him as my most drafted tight end at as many good prices as possible instead of at a bunch of bad prices. That's the hard thing to balance.
Yeah, like people always ask, like, how high are you comfortably going, like ownership on a guy? And for specifically something like the BBM, for me, my answer is usually about 25% because I think you need to give a level of kind of respect to the market. And if you start getting someone more than 25% of the time, there's a decent chance you're overpaying for them, and you could still be getting them a little less, but still getting them good clip a round later. And now you're getting better teams with that player you like. And I think that's an example with Bowers, where if you're taking him at 77, you're ending up with literally 75% of him if that's what you're doing it by build, because a lot of times you're going to have no tight end at that spot and take him. And so it's just too much.
Yeah, it is. It is too much. And I like getting some Dallas Goedert builds without Jalen Hurts because probably, I don't know, 90% of my Dallas Goedert teams have Jalen Hurts on them. So I like that. Schultz without Stroud is such an interesting one because it's like you can see so obviously the ping pong of how that works out for you, where Schultz score just happens. He's got 5 touchdowns on the season. 4 of them come in the fantasy football playoffs, but Stroud, kind of averages 18.5 points per game or something there. And you're killing all the 3rd round Texans wide receiver teams. So that's yeah. I mean, this was a classic Herzig draft, buddy. We just scooped a ton of value in the back half of the draft. We just got all the ADP values in the back half of the draft.
Yeah, we got screwed with some, like that Caleb going 109 to an unstacked person. I think our draft would have been very different if we take Burrow and Caleb, and that's our QB room. Highly correlated with stud wide receivers. But once we missed the Caleb, we really tried to kind of piecemeal it with that Levis and Carr, and it got ugly.
Which does go back to what we started the stream with, which is it is when you start with Justin Jefferson and you're not all in on taking McCarthy, then it's a lot different than if you start your draft with St. Brown or AJ Brown or Garrett Wilson or Deebo Samuel or CeeDee Lamb, when you know exactly what you're doing at quarterback. The chat wants to know your top exposures. I'm also curious about this because let's see, guys. Can you guess his number one most exposed?
What site do we want to do? Underdog, I mentioned. I have 100 for between like Dalmatian Greyhound, best BBM, Rottweiler, like all. Yeah. So that's legit. Okay, we'll use that. Give me a position.
Let's go your top exposure running back. I'm gonna guess Jaylen Warren.
It is not Jaylen Warren. I'm not down on him, but it's definitely not him. I'll go with some fun ones. So number 5 is Najee at 20%. And I just think that
very palatable.
A lot of the same arguments for Jalen, but I've got a lot higher Jalen on DraftKings and on Underdog. I just think that I don't need to get into the specifics there, but I'm happy with both of them. Antonio Gibson, number 1 at 25%.
Yes, and ball. It's all setting up for him to be like Shane Vereen plus. There's not really a competition for the 3rd running back anywhere. Yeah, I was reading yesterday, it's Kevin Harris right now. I mean, Kevin Harris has been on the team for 3 years, had a chance to break out. It's not very often, Justin, that I get on a stream with another Gibson bro. Most of the time, we are legion, but there are very few of us Gibson bros left out in the wild.
But a lot of it comes down to it's going to be a run first team. Even on bad offenses, you can still have running backs that put up points if they get the touches, especially if you can get some receptions, which we know Gibson does. Yes, they gave the contract to Ramondre, but it doesn't mean Ramondre is going to suddenly turn into a pass catcher. So I think Gibson has a regular role in that offense. There's virtually no other running backs besides those two. So it's highly concentrated on a weekly basis when they're both healthy. And in the world that Ramondre gets hurt, Gibson can take a higher workload, and we know he's going to still get the pass catches. And it gives me the Drake May back stacks that I like as well.
What are your favorite back stacks? That was a question earlier in the chat. What are your favorite back stacks right now?
Looking through. So I think I'd say Cleveland. I don't get much of Amari Cooper, but if I get to the spot where like I need some stacks, like I grab Jerry Jeudy and then I grab Deshaun a little
Watson.
after. Yeah. So I like that one. So my highest owned QB, Caleb. I don't think that's shocking based off the way I've been talking about Caleb Williams. And
talk to me a little bit more. Talk to me a little bit more about that, actually, because I get the sense there's a real bifurcation amongst football people right now. Like, some people are like, rookie quarterbacks always suck. Their ceilings are not that high. But ball knowers know from having watched Caleb Williams that, 4,200 yards and 29 passing touchdowns is totally in the range.
Yeah, first off, Caleb, I think, is very different than a lot of prospects that we've seen. Not only is he coming into as the number one overall pick, an amazing, probably the best situation we've had for a number one drafted QB ever with his like wide receiver core. So you've got the weapons. He also, I think his scramble ability is going to just bring you fantasy points. We're not expecting to get that many rushing touchdowns, not Anthony Richardson style, but like he still extends plays that helps him both from a rushing as well as just giving your receivers more time, get open, bigger play opportunity. And from a Caleb standpoint, I love stacking in that area. I mean, where he goes, I usually am done drafting my wide receivers. I've already got a couple running backs. So that it just works really well. And
Herzig, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Liam, welcome. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Liam?
I'm good, man. I was going to do this year, but it just felt perfect to help Davis on the because I feel like Herzig did this. I feel like you got me and Pat on ETR.
Year two, I did it all summer. I was just by myself. But the next year,
but the champ stream, I think maybe Pat had us on his year. You had us on last year. I was going to do this year, but BBM5, I'm available. If Davis does not take it down himself, but I'm happy to be here, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, Liam, you need to take credit. It was your idea to have everyone go in the sequential order. I'd had it in. I don't remember the order that I had it in, but you were like, aesthetically, everyone has to go in the order in which they want it. So your content brain is better than you give yourself credit for, brother.
No, yeah, just strategic genius, very generous guy, letting you have the stream, helping you out with that. I do it all.
Yeah, absolutely. You're a great dude.
You had a big poker tournament last week, and then how was the hurricane the past couple of days?
That went great on day one. And then quickly busted like a top 15 stack, which was not great. And then just drove through the tropical storm, pulled my back. So I've been a little bit better, to be honest, but hey, it's best ball season. Before you go, Justin, I feel like we got to talk about this as a group where, best ball is growing, as an industry anyways. And I really felt after we got a couple of those Barstool streams, maybe it's correlated, maybe it's not. But some of these rooms I've been in have been insane compared to even years past, I feel, for how soft the rooms are. So maybe it's partially Barstool effect there. That's obviously a crowd I think everyone would like to see involved in the best ball space. But I don't know. What's your guys' takes on like how I wouldn't say the BBM5 rooms look too soft, but like you do a marathon, you do a drafters, like you'll see some insane things.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I've been saying, like, I think the puppy drafts are the sharpest drafts that you basically have on any best ball website. And it's just because
they're sharper than the 555s at times.
Like, I 100% agree. The casuals aren't interested in playing a $5 draft and wasting 45 minutes of their time. Like, that's not what a casual wants to do. They want to put down the 25, go do a couple of them. Maybe they get 10 tournaments. Maybe they do a marathon sprint, whatever. So like, that's where I feel like there's just high concentration. It is interesting because DraftKings has done a lot of, I'd say, like organic marketing around best ball this year, we haven't seen like nearly as much. Like I think last year we saw TV advertisements for best ball DraftKings. Like I don't think we've seen that this year.
Yeah, a little bit.
In their app, like you're seeing the drive and the push through the promos, the bonuses and such. So I think that's probably having a major impact. I don't think they were probably the happiest with how the Barstool kind of ended up going from a conversion aspect. Just because like the second one, I think Portnoy literally put out a tweet like there was no stream or anything, which probably not what they were hoping for. But maybe, hopefully there was a carryover there.
They reached out to me to do one of the 10Ks, and I said, "Can you guarantee me a VIP?" You know, like after seeing some of those rooms, I don't know if it makes sense unless, you know, like some of the grinders are not, you know, like we have that guy that takes like Austin Eckler in round 7 and then Najee in like round 5 and like every 5-5-5, and like that guy was in there. So I don't know. Player selection is key.
And like the whole aspect with the reaching out, and like I definitely understand the complaints that people were having. I think it helps that it was the first draft and first 2 drafts. So like no one entered that tournament before that. Those were the first 2. So at least like people hopefully know like going forward, you at least had those 1 or 2 drafts that had a fish or 2. But like I'm looking, there's a 10K right now that's people are trying to get to a slow draft. I think they're at 10 of 12. It's got McLovin in it, and like not gonna. Like McLovin, for the most part, auto drafts. And so, like, even though, yes, obviously extremely sharp DFS player, but like for best ball, he's auto drafting. He's just gonna auto draft. He auto drafted in the 10K. So like that still does exist. I'll probably do at least 1 or 2 more as long as it's fast. But
Davis is just smiling at the number going up of people watching. That is the Davis smile.
It is beautiful, but guys, there are 530 live concurrents. We've got like 15 new subs since the stream has started. Let's press the subscribe button and let's let Herzig tell you what's coming up on the Establish the Run YouTube and when and where you can find him streaming as he continues to attempt to defend his crown.
Yeah, I got the belt up there. There's a belt. I don't know. A crown would be awesome. Liam got the ring. I got a belt. Next year, BBM5, we got to talk to him. Like a legit crown.
We need a legit crown.
I asked for the ring. I did not get the ring. They gave it to the playoff people, and I was like, guys, could I get like one of those $15 rings? And they were like, sure. Here you go.
Yeah, this was because they had like Underdog at Palooza for BBM2, and there was like a big day down in Miami and such. The belt's still pretty cool. Yeah, ETR. I mean, I know you're still streaming today, so I don't want to take away from it. But when people afterwards want to go, if you're ETR subs, I'm streaming today with Peter Jennings. We're gonna do bringing the big boy back into it. OG Peter Jennings. So
I was texting with him about a month ago, and I was like, what would it even take for me to get on a call with Peter? Like it's like I ended up getting on a call with the unabated office guys before I got on a call with Peter Jennings. The man is too busy.
Pete would come on 100% if you asked.
Yeah, I've got to say, like, he is the most genuine, nicest. And you mentioned Call. My first introduction to him was we were playing Draft, which is the precursor to Underdog, and we were both in the finals of their best ball contest. There were 12 people, and so we were kind of talking on Twitter. We've been doing a lot of drafts against each other, and he was like, "Hey, would you want to do some kind of equity swap?" And I'm like, yeah, like, sure. What are you thinking? And he just puts his number and he's like, call me. And so I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm literally in the airport. I'm with my girlfriend at the time. And like, this is like Peter Jennings. And this is 6 years ago, I think. And I'm like, okay. And so I just call him and we just chat for like 10, 15 minutes. We figure out an equity swap. And I was like, how's this work? Do you want me to like fill out paperwork? He's like, nah, I'll put an email. I don't, if you want an email, we can put an email, but like, I know you're good for it, whatever. And like, I was literally no one. There was nothing that I could have just, backed myself with at the time. And yeah, absolute nicest. So he would be more than happy to jump on a call with you. Do not even doubt that.
No. This is a true story. I was at Peter Jennings' wedding. That's a true story. He's a legitimately great guy. He is truly one of the best dudes. All right, everyone, let's get Herzig out of here, Liam, and then you and I can hop in one. Everyone, make sure you're following Justin on Twitter. Make sure you're subscribed to the ETR YouTube. Justin, thank you very much for the time, brother.
Appreciate it, Liam. Hope your back feels better. Draft a good one, gentlemen.
Brother. Bye. Two things I'll say. One, The year I won the 5-5-5, if I didn't, it would have been Pete. He had the Bengals and Bills guys.
Yeah.
And so he took a tough blow there. And, just a very good best baller himself. And then 2, yeah, I see people talking about Chase Brown, and this was gonna be an article I'm writing, or it is an article I'm writing, but I wanted to talk about this with you because, I know how you're gonna approach this, but the
Do you?
collective,
Do you know
yeah,
how I'm gonna approach this?
yeah, I do. I think I
Tell
do,
me how
dude.
I'm gonna approach it, Liam.
Your number goes up, I go up. You're chasing
I think
up
where I've got him right now
because you
is
think it might go to the 80s or whatever. So you're buying at the 99, 90.
no. I think.
whatever.
Oh, I'm buying at
You're
pick
buying at
99. Yeah. I think I can't take him over Jalen Warren. That's where I'm at. Is I can't take him over. But actually, what's happening now, Liam, is that now I can get Zach Moss. Like now, I could take Zach Moss now, whereas it was hard for me to take him before.
Well, let's talk about that because I personally have 23% of Brown and Moss because that's what I thought was the
drafting
optimal.
good, brother.
I thought that was the optimal way to play it. All of my Brown is like ADP 125, 133, 143. I have some really good Brown prices. And, we as a community are going to steam these guys up. Like Chase Brown's name will be on Twitter and streams like 5 times a day.
Yeah.
I think it's very clear if you don't like how I'm going to play it is now for me, Brown is probably like a 4 to 6% guy at the 99, right? Because I already have 23% at the optimal price. And he might go up to the 80s, and in which case I need to just wish him goodbye, right? The line for me is like Raheem Mostert, where like I don't have enough Mostert anyways, so I'm not going to take Brown over Mostert. Tony Pollard, I think it's getting close, but he'll randomly fall. So I feel like that's a mix for me. And then with Moss, nothing has changed. Like I've been drafting Moss because I don't want to miss on the Bengals running backs for week 17, especially against the Broncos, where
I don't want to miss on the Bengals running backs for weeks 1 through 17.
Yeah, 1 through 17, but I especially like their week 17 matchup where
I liked that article that you wrote about the micro stuff. I mean, because people, the sharp people don't draft that way. They're like, you can't possibly project anything that far out and stuff. But I like that you try and go really deep on the exploitative stuff when everyone else more or less is trying to go GTO.
Yeah, we'll circle back on that in a second because he's talking about an article I wrote about playoff schedule, which is obviously like a thin micro edge. But just to finish the Brown thought, right? Like nothing has changed for Moss for me personally, where I still think it's quite plausible Moss is the goal line back, right? He's like around 220 pounds. I think Moss is unquestionably a good pass blocking back. And when you have a guy like Joe Burrow, where your primary concern is keeping him upright, Moss sticking in the hole and picking up a blitz pickup goes a long way to getting you on the field. It also seems like, this is not like my type of edge, but people have tweeted out that the blocking scheme fits Moss. Moss was good in some stats last year. He obviously slowed down some of the stretch. I feel like if Moss was not like 75% chalk in a bunch of...
This is insane.
Yeah,
that's too much.
That's bad, but Connor also opened in the hundreds.
Sure.
But so with Moss, like I feel like if he wasn't 75% owned in like multiple DFS weeks down the stretch where he busted his chalk, that is like sitting in people's brains a little bit too. So anyways, I'm going to be buying Moss on the way down, obviously trying to get cheaper Moss, having bought him like, ahead of guys like Ramondre, which I'm still okay doing. And then Brown for me now is just like still draft, but not quite high as a clip because I feel like that's the way I should play it for my portfolio. If you have not been drafting Brown, I would get him because we talk about the word league winner, right? Like you need to just,
if Chase Brown gets 237 touches for the Bengals and you are not there for that, I mean,
that feels bad. That feels real bad. And years past, I would have 60% Brown and no Moss. And I feel like this is my growth as a player, you
Sure.
know? Yeah, we got to go Jamar Chase since
Yeah,
he won me BBM.
Yeah, we took Kamara. We took Kamara with Herzig. We got to take Chase. And how about that? I mean, how about we get the perfect draft spot to get him? I mean, I guess Glue Eater or Born Loser could ruin the bit. What should Moss's ADP be? Moss should be like running back 31. He's running back 28. Should be like running back 31. He's right about fine.
I would not take any of the guys behind him ahead of Moss.
Say that again. That just confused me.
I would not take Spears, Javonte, Singletary. I wouldn't take any of them ahead of Moss.
I would take Javonte, but that's it.
That to me, like, we still don't have actionable info on either, and we're still kind of just reading the vibes of the ether right here, where the vibes have been good for Javonte. Don't get me wrong, but also like, let's see it. Like let's
vibes
see it.
Are Liam. What is more important on August 6th than vibes, dude?
I'm a good vibe reader. I'm okay reading vibes. Is what I'm telling you. But what I'm saying is sometimes vibes are good because teams want to trade a player. So we gotta go Chase here.
Shout out to Ben Haskell, who told his buddy he'd have to run a marathon if Kamala picked Tim Walz and they win the election. He said he can't even run a mile right now.
Dude, Kamala would literally save your life then. If you can't run a mile right now and then you're running marathons,
yeah,
she is
shout
saving
out
your life.
Yeah, shout out. There should be a new contest today, right? Shouldn't there? This is
because
normally
the what's it called hasn't filled. But on the playoff article I wrote, which is like I kind of just like went through and was like, these are the spots I want to attack. Which that is like redraft brain is not who scores the most points week 17, but best ball brain really should be like you should be thinking through who is going to win week 17. I did the painful thing. I looked at my 5-5-5 teams that did not make the finals. I tallied up the scores of one of my teams. It had like Slayton, Kyron, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra. Would have scored 200 points. I forgot to ask Herzig what the winning score was there, but making sure you okay, you may not reach week 17, but when you do, you want to make sure you're winning. It is kind of like the mindset there.
For sure.
How's the news got you feeling? Let's talk about Ayuk.
The news has me feeling great. I mean, I've been a Debo bull.
Because you're a Debo guy.
Yeah, I'm a Debo bull, so I win. Yeah, I mean, I think I sent the tweet out last night of all the places Ayuk wants to get traded to. It's Russian roulette, but the gun is all bullets. It's just a fully loaded gun.
Well, let's talk about that, but I don't agree. Like, I think the Brown spot, he could actually see more pass volume. I think
only if Cooper gets swapped in return. Yes.
And even if Cooper's not traded, okay, you're competing with Amari Cooper instead of Kittle, Debo, and CMC, and Njoku. The year that Jacoby Brissett, like I think New England is not even a death blow. Like it introduces uncertainty.
No, I want him to go to New England because I want May to succeed. So like selfishly for me, I want that.
Well, and it could be the Nico Collins 1.25x, where Amari Cooper went for 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns with Jacoby Brissett starting 11 games. Like that. Okay, New England's O-line is trash. Don't get me wrong, but so was Stroud's, right? So if Drake May is almost certainly better than Brissett, and Brandon Ayuk is almost certainly better than Amari Cooper. So
if Drake May is him, it doesn't matter.
And even if not, Jacoby Brissett supported Amari Cooper to 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns with Deshaun playing only 6 games, So I really do like the fall of Ayuk for a maybe trade doesn't make sense to me. The spot that I think I would love the least if it does happen would be the Steelers. But even then,
Steelers is so brutal.
It's brutal, but look what DJ Moore did with Justin Fields. I think we're
Pickens doesn't get traded in that.
No, Pickens does not get traded, but I think Brandon Ayuk is a far better wide receiver than George Pickens.
No, Pickens is a dog, dude. The disrespect.
George Pickens is very good at what he does. He's not a separator, though.
He's just a dog, dude.
He's like a big jump ball guy. I think I'm into Achane.
Yeah, we just need sharp consultant to be a Chris Olave guy. Or maybe he watched receiver, so he wants to take Devontae Adams or Brandon Ayuk. Come on, sharp consultant. Do the right thing. Yeah, this is he took Devonta Smith.
Yeah, let's go
Okay,
Achane.
This is
Achane is
a
a
great
guy
point.
who I take at the 1-2 turn sometimes because he can put up 50 points.
He can put up 50 points. Yeah, a lot of fantasy analysis is too granular, and this is totally true. 110 targets in San Francisco or 153 in New England. I'm taking 153. That is a great point.
Yeah, I don't think it would be quite a 40 target gap, but
no, if he goes to New England, there's literally nothing stopping him from getting 160 targets at all.
Okay, but like a Zach Wilson 160 targets is not. I don't think it would be that bad, you know.
But we just said that Brissett and May are fine.
Like there are outs where New England just tries to run the ball 3/4 of the game, and Ayuk only would get like 6 targets a game. Like,
J.K. Dobbins shouted out his Achilles surgeon at camp. Okay, the New England wide receiver room is only crowded because they all stink. If Brandon Ayuk comes in that room, he's immediately the best one. Immediately.
A lot of news is broken my way. I feel really good about the way news is breaking. I have 10% Kendrick Bourne in BBM5, which is like possibly a 0. But it felt good to hear his name floated out in trade talks.
Yeah, sure.
I got 10% Justin Fields in BBM5. Like, I missed on doing that with Trey Lance. We're not stopping. We're gonna mine to the diamonds.
Wow, dude, look at this. Olave at pick 28. Are we missing something?
Yeah, let's do Olave.
What is he dead? What happened?
I don't know. Shaheed has a Q tag on DK though, so you can get him in like the 140s.
Amazing.
Yeah, Olave. Like I have the San
trade.
Francisco guys ranked ahead of Olave.
Same. Yeah, me too. So I don't get him.
But that's only considering like 1 week upside. If we're talking like managed, I think it's like Olave will outscore them a lot of the seasons where he's just going to see insane volume.
Sure. I mean, I'm not that into Chris Olave, relatively speaking. I like both the San Francisco guys better, but I'm not going to take Stephon Diggs or DK Metcalf. They've been talking about this on Ship Chasing, the idea of like what we would say if we were on Truth Serum on all these shows. Like we had to say what we really believe in our true heart of hearts, even if there's like data and evidence to suggest that we're wrong. And my true heart of hearts is that I think DJ Moore should be like a first round pick. Really, like I think he's gonna go insanely mega nuke. Like I think he could have like 1,700 yards this year. Like I think he's gonna go nuts.
My heart of hearts is that like I draft a lot of DJ Moore. Keenan is the one I draft the least, which is a little scary. Like he marked well in open score, but also he was competing for targets with Quentin Johnston and Jordan Palmer for like the bulk of the season. And then like, you know, Donald Parham. Is that Rome Odunze is like a generational price.
Yeah.
Like wrong pricing where like this is, we are buying rookie year Jamar Chase when you're like, that's the mindset when you draft Rome Odunze is you are getting rookie year,
totally agree.
Basically Jamar Chase. And like, okay, Worthy's there too. I really like him as well. Like, how could you not? Seeing the videos, I got a lot of Worthy when he dipped, but like those two, and really that range is nice, right? Like Christian Watson's there too. Like there's so many guys who you could see being the guy this year. But yeah, the Rome, like I'm with the Caleb Williams,
the Caleb stuff.
Yeah. The only thing that's hard for me is, are we just hoping that Caleb Williams is basically Brock Purdy? So like, I also have a lot of Brock Purdy. Of course, Caleb will have more rushing upside, although Purdy's looking pretty yoked recently.
You know, Purdy had to lose. They asked Purdy to lose weight.
Have you seen that video of him though? Like his upper body, it's like,
yeah. Hurts, Mahomes, and Allen all go 3 picks in a row. That I don't see that very often. Yeah, Purdy.
I was going to float Allen at the third only because he was on my winning team, and that would have been synergy.
Yeah,
you can't pass Olave there.
Yeah, Fant. We have to be thinking about who are the other memes from the Gesicki. Yeah,
Gesicki was on me and Pat's team.
Okay.
Amon-Ra would have been fine too.
Yeah, Chase. I mean, I guess both of them are kind of the story of that team, but Chase is the one. The guys I remember from your team are Penny, Chase, and Fant, because you always make the point about Fant is the reason that you shipped it.
No, Fan, I didn't need the points. Like,
You didn't need the points, exactly.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't. Gesicki would have been like, he got 2 garbage time touchdowns, but Gesicki's 10 points would have been fine.
Yeah. Tough. This is always an annoying spot at the end of the 4th round. Like, do you take the Pickens, T, whatever? Do you try and set up Lamar Andrews? Do you take McBride and set up Kyler?
I think in general, you should be looking to get a little bit unique here. Got like a guy who, like, obviously I like Kincaid, but I've also been working hard to get some more James Cook, because it just could be like the James Cook year where he's like 1,600 all-purpose yards, 12 plus touchdowns. Like a lot of these.
Yeah, we are going to get buried by the Avalanche if we take 4th round James Cook, though.
I disagree. Do James Cook. Trust me. Do it.
I'm
going to guess you. I'm going to guess you have almost no James Cook.
No, look, 7.5%.
Okay, draft him. What is the difference between James Cook and Isaiah Pacheco? Other than, of course, Josh Allen, you're worried about him taking rushing touchdowns, but that could just not happen.
Pacheco is going to catch 22 more passes.
James Cook actually catches the ball down the field, right? Like, he had some high-profile drops.
Well, catch.
Well, yeah, okay. So he had some high-profile drops.
Catch is the operative word there.
But I mean, you want to, like, James Cook is a much better prospect than a guy like Pacheco. We're hoping Pacheco just has the McKinnon role too, and maybe he does, right? Like, it looked good down the stretch, but Cook and Rachaad White are 2 guys who really nothing has changed other than like a couple streamers have jumped on and been like, "Ooh, Rachaad White's a dead zone back, but Pacheco's not because he's on the Chiefs." I'm okay with Rice. I also like Jaden Reed here.
Jaden Reed gives us another quarterback.
Kincaid is fine too. Let's do Reed.
Okay. So
I would also take Rachaad White there, but we might get Rachaad White the next round.
Rachaad White at 52?
Insane, on Underdog, dude. He's gonna fall, but I mean,
Rachaad White there, if you already had James Cook, it's insane. That is a pick.
I disagree. It's not like, I generally build wide receiver heavy, but if you're building 0 teams with combos of like Achane, Cook, White, Achane, ETN, White, Achane, ETN, Cook, like, it's all the path is there for the guys who.
If I have two running backs through 4 rounds, I'm taking 0 running backs in the 5th round teams. None.
And I don't do it often, but I do want some teams like that, because I feel like I'm going to hit the wide receivers late better than people. Again, I build more 0 running back, but I do want some teams with, like, give me James Cook and Rachaad White over Derrick Henry. Give me these types of guys. Give me ETN over Derrick Henry straight up. Like, Derrick Henry going at the 2-3 turn is egregious stuff in my opinion. Like, an ETN.
This is Liam's least favorite thing, the draft caddy. That's how I'm able to see the ownership percentage while I'm drafting. It's a tool from endgamesyndicate.com. Gives me my own percentages, so I'm able to tell you that I've got 7.5% James Cook. See, look, dude, we just gave BSP in the 11 hole a fucking nutted out team.
Okay, and you're going to be able to build that team a lot too, right? Like, we're not drafting from the 11th hole. You cannot hoard every Chief in every draft just because, like, I like the Josh Allen Kincaid start in the 4-5. Am I taking Kincaid every single time he's there in the 5th to stop the Josh Allen drafter from getting that? No, because I'm trying to win myself. I'm not trying to stop someone else.
Tim is right. If robust is like what you need, like, yeah, I've got 150 dead teams. So it's not
comfortable. It's not comfortable trying to catch up at wideout. It doesn't mean it can't win.
No. And I guess I actually would rather do it if you started like Chase, Devonta, Chase, Nico, like whatever, and then you did 3 straight running backs. I'd like it. I'd like it.
I mean, we have
more.
2 wide receivers who could be top 10 wideouts.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And here's the last point I want to say on this is, in my opinion, this is not a great room for it because it's being streamed. But the way you abuse these soft rooms is you do take the running backs heavy. Like, these are the rooms where they're going to start taking Rachaad
You take
White.
him as a faller, but we took Cook ahead of ADP, and you wanted to take Rachaad White about 90 spots ahead of ADP.
Well, I would not in the stream room. I said I would consider it. I think it's a smash if he's there. Christian Watson's the only guy I would.
Yeah, I didn't have any Cook until recently, and honestly, Liam's bullishness got me to change my tone.
Well, it's like I'm in on Kincaid, I'm in on Coleman. Like, I want to be betting on the ambiguous pieces, but what if this Christian Watson for sure? I've been trying to set this stack up where you reach on Reed and then you get Watson, and Watson gets taken a lot. So
yeah,
because it's so easy to see, like, the Vikings secondary is awful, like really, really, really bad. And Jordan Love in the dome could just be the nuts back-to-back years.
Correct. Yeah, I love taking Jordan Reed. I love taking Christian Watson, Jordan Love, Dontavian Wicks.
I don't think there's much difference between Rachaad White and Kyren Williams other than one is a Ram and one is a Buccaneer.
Pretty big fucking difference there. Pretty big difference in the scoring.
And I would say Blake Corum is more concerning than Bucky Irving.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. All right, what do you want to do here?
And at this point, like, I don't want
this is a really annoying spot. What do you want to do?
Click Coleman for sure.
Playing
click
the hits,
wide receiver
Liam.
button though. Click. Yeah, Coleman for sure.
We're playing the hits on the channel today, guys.
Well, running back, wide receiver is generally good correlation to have when you're drafting best ball. It's positive.
What's your take on Ray Davis and your take on the Bills wide receivers? People want to
know. Ray Davis, I draft a lot of because I personally don't think
he's a better pick than Cook.
I mean, maybe, but like, I'm not willing to miss the forest for the trees like you, right? Like, you're just saying like Cook's going to go to 0. He's not big. Where, I mean,
I've got 8% of him. What more do you want
James
from
Cook
me?
has CMC type traits as far as like a receiving back. And
that is insane. But
just looking at some of the training camp videos, like grinding the scrimmage, there was a lot of open field for James Cook in the middle where you want explosive players. Like, really, like, explosive players is what you want.
Grinding the scrimmage is the funniest thing you've ever said. This team is actually good. I think we've got a good team cooking right now. I mean, we're gonna have to thread the needle with quarterback, and we're gonna be drawing a little thin at tight end. But it doesn't change the fact that grinding the scrimmage is the funniest thing you've ever said.
Well, I mean, what do you get? You have to watch tape, and like, I was watching the tape, and there was a lot of like wide receivers running covered, and James Cook just like running 7 yards up the field, breaking in. And I mean, the dude's got like, he's explosive. I like explosive players because they can give you 50-point games. You know, James Cook is basically a poor man's Devon Achane, you know, like, and not that poor in his up case.
No, I think to me, he's more like he's like a rich man's Rachaad White. He's like, what if Rachaad White had some juice? You know, Rachaad White has no juice. Cook has juice.
James Cook is 10 pounds bigger. James Cook is, at the 40, he's 0.1 slower, so 4.42 versus a 4.32. 10-yard split, 1.49 for Achane, 1.54 for Cook. We did not get agilities on Cook, so that is one thing we're unsure of. But he's basically just like a bigger, slower, long speed, but similar 10-yard split, which is your explosiveness, really. And Josh Allen has shown a willingness to hit him in the pass game. So I'm not willing to like miss on Cook being, I mean, legitimately, he has a legendary season in his range of outcomes.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that. He's an 8% exposure guy to me. Like that is what he is to me. He's not a building block because he goes next to a bunch of elite wide receivers. But the thing you're worried about with him is
okay.
fuck.
Wait, is Addison gone?
Yeah.
Just take Jordan Love. I don't want to miss that.
That is
Or
so.
do you want to take? Do you want to do Burrow first? Let's do
No.
Burrow second.
Jordan Love. I'm so annoyed that Brock Bowers just went.
Okay, well, when Jordan Love is winning us $1.5 million because we already built in the Watson and Reed stack, I think your tiers will be okay.
No, now we just got owned. Now we're drawn so thin at tight end.
No, we're fine. I mean, Njoku correlates with Achane, and I'd rather go Joe Burrow here and be done at quarterback.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, we have legitimately 2 top 5 quarterback shots. We have 2 running backs who can be top 5 at their ceiling. You know, top 10 even is realistic. We have 5 wide receivers who could be smashes. You know, like we have 2 shots at the Green Bay.
It's fine. It's a Dawson Knox team now.
No, I think Knox is undraftable.
No,
He's undraftable on Underdog. Period. Unless he's really undraftable unless you have Josh Allen. There are as many tight ends who can legitimately be their team starting tight end going in the 18th round still. I love this.
Not taking Charlie Jones. That's not happening.
No, it's. I mean, I don't know. I take a lot of. How are you feeling about Burton? I've not been taking Burton. I've been taking.
Every day I log into my app. I'm hoping to see that exposure number go down, please. I'm taking more Yoshi Boss. I mean, I'm comfortable with the decisions that I made on Burton, like with the information that I had at the time, and it's kind of the same play. It's just like you're waiting for his rookie production. You know, it's going to be back weighted, but he's not going to start the year playing at all. He might even be a scratch.
I still think that's an out for him. I think it's not a likely out. He's certainly not a 0, right? Like I'm taking him in the 17th, 18th round. Sometimes if I would take him over like the Khalif Raymonds of the world. Because again, this is a 17-week season. So many people, there's a lot of soft money changing ADPs right now. And so there's also a little bit of sharp money changing ADPs where I would say the Chase Brown going up, that is a sharp money, but we've also been wrong on something like that before.
Of course. Yeah.
Let's find a faller that I don't think is that sharp. I think the Wicks going down, Romeo Doubs going up, I think is a little sharp, right? It just seems more and more likely that he could potentially be a breakout guy.
I think he's got no room to improve on efficiency. Wicks is the one where he was so efficient that he can always get. Wicks is the one who can actually be a breakout. Dobbs is 800 yards, 7 touchdowns is kind of what you're hoping. Which is not even to say that's a bad pick.
It's 1,010. That's he can do
1,010 from Dobbs would be insane.
It's all Jordan Love is what it is.
Sure.
It's just that Jordan Love.
Agree with.
Jordan Love is the best quarterback in the NFC. Period. That would be. That's the Dobbs season for you.
Sure.
Click the running back tab for me, please.
I think there's a pretty obvious running back for us to take.
I think let's pass it. Click all the buttons for me. I think we first go Goddard. Let's go Goddard.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these running backs I feel similar about. Let's go Goddard.
Nah, I'm gonna overrule you.
Dude, do it. No. Don't take Goddard.
God, I want to overrule you so bad, but I won't. And we're gonna get back on the clock, and the running back that we should have taken is gonna be gone, and our third running back is gonna be fucking Ezekiel Elliott.
No, he's not. We're gonna take Rico over Zeke if we get there.
Well, yeah, that's definitely true. So I just did it the last one. We just did naked Goddard. Just like I like doing some of Corum went. Why
Goddard allows you to stop at 2 tight ends, period. And like
why
3
would
tight
we
ends
not just take Corum? Why did we not just take Corum?
Because you need to fight your tendencies where like you can still get Corum in the Corum is available in so many drafts the next round.
Not when badges are behind you, they know what to do. They know to take the good plays.
I personally like Rico a lot. So like I'm okay.
No, I mean obviously like I'm fine with Rico, but we got to sweat 2 more picks to get him. Anyway.
I like Trey Benson a lot. I like Jerome Ford a lot.
I like Trey Benson a lot as a 4th. I don't like Trey Benson that much as a 3rd.
I think you just got to play it like Achane and Cook are hitting our lineup so many times that.
Yeah, all 3 of the teams on the tight end on the wrap had a tight end. Weren't paying attention to that. Yeah, back-to-back.
No, I'm taking Goddard as a 2nd tight end there plenty of times. All right, let's go Rico. So I bought the Rico dip. That seemed to be like a very temporary thing off.
Yeah,
of the
that lasted about a day.
I got so many like Rico in the 140 teams. And then today I did a draft and Rico went around here and Zeke went in the 140s, which like following everything seems correct, right? Like Rico.
Yeah.
And also week 17 correlation right there, Goddard and Rico, like that just seems like a flat out good move for BBM5 that we just did. People thinking Goddard is dead. Like I was the one sounding the alarm last year when other people were touting Goddard that he was a terrible pick in the 7th round. It is wildly changed when the next tight end off the board after Goddard is Dalton Schultz, right?
It's a big difference.
It's a huge gap. And like the Goddard 750 to 850 yards, 6 to 8 touchdowns.
I was going to say 5 touchdowns probably.
Okay, that's semantics. 6 to 8, like we're talking kind of like realistic ceilings. This is like 90 percentile outcome for him. It's totally possible. Of course, one of Smith or AJ Brown goes down, and he could have a 1,200 yard season, right? Like Goddard is good.
He's all right.
I didn't think he was 7th round good, and I think importantly as well, just playing the tight end market this year. There's a pretty big tier gap after Goddard.
What are you doing with Justin Fields as a riser here? Are you a Justin Fields 15th round drafter or no?
Well, I've been taking him in the 18th, the 20th a lot, So like this team I'm not taking a 3rd quarterback on.
No.
But when I do need a 3rd, I'm willing to take him in the 16th, 15th, really like kind of depends there. I'm willing to mix them in. I never drafted Russ either.
Oh man, you gotta be a real schmaltz to be a Russell Wilson drafter. Like, what are you hoping for? Truly.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, also like, yeah, it's like guys like CEH, man. He's drawing live not to make the team right now. Like with his PTSD, like
no, he's gonna make the team. CH, he's gonna make the team.
I don't know, man. It seems pretty serious where he just.
But this is a PTSD incident from when he was in college. Like he's been dealing with this.
I think that's something that ebbs and flows.
No, I'm not trying to minimize his struggles. What I'm saying is I don't think that would be a reason for him to not make the team. He's gonna make the team.
I could see him stepping away in like choosing to step away from football.
I suppose that's possible. McKinnon, McKinnon gets back from his core muscle surgery.
I don't think McKinnon is a thing.
No.
A guy I never heard of before today. Some fullback.
Carson Steele.
Yeah, Carson Steele. They're like, this guy's making the team.
He could maybe make the team as a special teams
guy. What
guy.
pick number are we at?
12-9, 141. We are on the clock.
I mean, Tua is interesting, but
no, he's not. An uncorrelated Tua.
What's the running? Take Musgrave. Just take Musgrave and be done.
Okay.
Tua's not uncorrelated. We have Achane.
Oh yeah. Okay. Still, what's the point?
Tua is a guy I never ever take at ADP because he falls to the next round so often.
Correct. Yeah. Musgrave was a good pick. That Liam, that was good on you for knowing what's going on there. But we're back up.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a reach. Like we could get him in the next round, probably.
But who cares? Who
yeah,
cares?
but like we're not. Who are we missing out on? That's okay. And now I think this could go one of two ways.
I think there are multiple running backs, or I think there are a couple different guys we could take here.
A couple different guys.
I'm probably fine reaching on a running back here. So
I don't. I have a guy who I would prefer. Just because he seems like the quintessential best ball mania playoff pod guy. Let's take Mooney because
God, back-to-back drafts. You and fucking Herzig making me take Mooney.
Mooney's a sharp pick, man.
I like taking Jalen Wright with Achane. That's probably
but he's gonna be there the next round if you don't talk about it on stream. Like he falls often to a lot.
All right.
Mooney is. Who do you think Mooney is? Because I'll tell you who I think he is. Who is he for Kirk Cousins?
Jordan Addison.
He's Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
He's the Jordan Addison. As long as he's not terrible. A lot of the training camp lerms have been like, Mooney caught 4 passes today down the field. You don't have to be that good to just run by a corner and catch a ball. And I think after Mooney, he's the quintessential guy to go for he's KJ Osborne. He's Zay Jones. He's the type of guy who is boring to mix in, but could just be the guy that is 60% owned in the BBM5 finals because you had to have him to advance.
Sure. Guys, 243 likes on the stream, 662 concurrents. Come on. Click the button. Click the button, fellas. Let's do it. All right. For the audio listeners.
It seems like some people don't understand what the KJ Osborne thing means. I'm not saying we're trying to draft KJ Osborne. We're trying to draft a guy who goes for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns week 16. Week 15,
For the audio listeners, Jamar Chase, Devin Achane, Chris Olave, James Cook, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Keon Coleman, Jordan Love, Joe Burrow, Dallas Goedert, Rico Dowdle, Luke Musgrave, Darnell Mooney.
This guy said, Liam and the dentist must bring out the same energy in Davis.
No, these guys don't understand. I don't know why. People think you and I really dislike each other. Liam, I love drafting teams with you.
I like you a lot too. I think
you're truly one of my favorite people to draft with. I like disagreeing because probably my favorite person to do shows with of all time is Kerrane, but Kerrane and I agree on almost everything. Kerrane and I probably disagree on 10% of things, and that is just because we learned about fantasy, our paths about learning about fantasy football and games and stuff have been so similar.
I agree with you guys on a lot of things. I just disagree on things like drafting Rondale Moore when we have 1 month of evidence that he's running as the wide receiver 4. I disagree on just drafting CEH, who's probably a 0. I just try to not draft the zeros.
Are we gonna do a high stakes team this year?
I'm ready to run it back.
We can do if you want to do an NFFC, we can do a primetime that I can get us a credit for.
What is that? Is that the 350 or something?
No, the 2K.
What's first?
Million. Yeah.
I've never drafted there. I'd be into it. Yeah, I think we'll figure something out. I'm doing a lot of managed teams too. Doing some RT Sports stuff.
Oh God, dude. See, we really should have just done Quorum Rico.
I think if you didn't mention Wright's name before, after we picked a player, Little streamer tip to you: don't mention players after
I don't.
you've
I
picked.
don't care, dude. I will give away the EV to the rooms. You know,
I think the clear pick here is Ray Davis.
you want to handcuff James Cook?
Yeah, I think they both just can have weeks. It's not a handcuff to me. It's a Ray Davis has some 60-yard, 2-touchdown games, and
See,
Cook has
I
some.
have 15% Ray Davis. This is why I don't have very much James Cook.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you would take Achane and Mostert, I assume sometimes. You would take Mostert and Wright. You would take Achane and Wright. Cook and Ray is not that different.
Primetime is 250K to first, but it's smaller than the main event, so it's a little bit easier to ship.
I view Ray Davis similar to Ty Chandler.
Yeah. I mean, I probably like Ray Davis better, but I don't like Ray. I have not done this particular move before, but I haven't done this particular move because I actually agree with your assessment of James Cook. I think James Cook has a crazy role.
Yeah, like that's one out. The other out, though, is that I don't think we're going to see Josh Allen rushing for 15 touchdowns this year.
No, that is wrong. He definitely is going to.
No, because here, like, adding context to previous seasons is such an edge that people don't bother to do. Look at Josh Allen's rushing numbers before. What's the wide receiver tab looking like?
So dead, like deader than dead.
Let's go with Gibson first.
All right, we really are just drafting the same team that I just drafted with Herzig. Yeah, this I didn't even think about this. It's definitely worse with Keon because Keon's upside is so related to touchdowns.
I mean, I guess people commenting that just don't understand that best ball is different than managed, because Keon can have a week where he goes for 80 yards and a touchdown. That same week, Ray Davis can have 80 yards and a touchdown. Also, they can alternate, right? Like, it's okay to draft 3 players on a very good offense. And I really disagree. Like, running back, wide receiver, period, is a good correlation to have. So trying to nitpick that it's bad specifically with Keon is a waste of brain space, in my opinion.
The thing about drafting teammates together is that there's like basically a 5%, 3 to 5% teammate correlation, like on any given week, positive or negative. And, you know, you add those edges up over the course of 17 games. Like if the Bills just fuck on offense, like if they just are the highest scoring team in the NFL or they run the most plays or whatever, then yeah, you don't care about having.
And you want to talk about like players that could get you to the finals? That profiles more as the Bills players versus, you know, the Jets defense is scary, but it's also like whatever, that could be a shootout. But games against Detroit, you know, major shootout potential, and then New England, like that could be the game where literally both Cook and Ray are hitting your lineup because they both rush for like 100+ yards. You know, like the Bills could put up 45 against New England. So
why wouldn't they?
I forget what I was gonna say about one player, but oh well.
The chat was telling you they were saying they wanted you to tell me to take Quentin Johnston and see what I said. I mean, I just like I was drafting.
I've been ahead on that one too. I've drafted 0 QJ all year, and I've drafted Shark.
Oh, so
like
you haven't started drafting the right one yet? You haven't started drafting Brennan Rice yet?
I have 0% Quentin Johnston. Brennan Rice is okay to mix in.
You're telling me you like a 70% DJ Shark over a 2% owned Brennan Rice?
I like DJ Chark because he can go for 101 in a game at any given time if Justin Herbert is playing quarterback. I don't know much about Brendan Rice is instead, like, he doesn't have the floor of Chark. He's instead saying this is a 3% chance he's Puka Nacua, you know?
More like a 3% chance he's like Josh Palmer.
Okay, that's even less appetizing of a reason to like We're not 3% chance that he turns into Palmer is not a appealing selection to me.
Well, I actually think he's probably like a similar style prospect to Palmer. So I'm kind of into it.
Oh yeah, on the Josh Allen rushing numbers, this one I want to touch. Like Sean McDermott and Joe Brady would have been.
He's already 50% Jerry Rice technically.
Joe Brady and Sean McDermott would have been out. Let's take Yoshi Bus here. Would have been out of the NFL if the Bills did not make the playoffs. Every single season, the Bills coaches have been like, we really don't want Josh to take a lot of hits. And then when they're 5-5 and staring at not making the playoffs, they're like, well, we would like to keep our jobs, right? So like playoff Allen is unleashed. And
I mean,
so,
the thing about that is like, some of it also has to be ascribed to Josh, who just like likes doing it. Like he likes to play that way. He likes to call his own number.
Yeah, but like they were not letting him early. They were not calling design runs. That changed. That changed when Joe Brady took over, which like maybe that's Joe Brady, not that likely, or maybe that's hey, I really want to be the OC of the Buffalo Bills next year, and that's not happening if I don't get this team to the playoffs. Right?
I think the AFC is just so tough. Like it's all going to be a rock fight. I'm not sweating Josh not running at all in my macro analysis.
I don't think he's going to like him not running doesn't mean he's a bad selection. It just means that there's going to be more points for the skill players.
All right.
It means he's not stealing as many points.
17th round.
Malachi Corley or Jalen Tolbert would be my selection.
Corley is a good bring back. I do. He is going to be your classic back-weighted production rookie. I think they're going to be playing Xavier Gipson over him to start the year, but
it's hard to parse because like
I really liked him as a prospect, so I should be taking some more of him.
I take a lot of him just because to me his upside case is that he's like Jets Rashee Rice. Jets bigger Rashee Rice, where like that's what he's doing. He's just a yak king. He's bigger though. And as long as he laughs at enough like 9/11 jokes or whatever Rodgers is doing, like he'll be on the field. I just think the Jets are like in general mispriced. Mike Williams should probably not be going in the 140s.
No, Mike Williams is a bad pick, but
I just like maybe
I think the market basically has it right because they're pricing in like some total blow up risk. Like Rodgers is not healthy.
No, they're not. That is not what the market's doing. What the market's doing is Mike Williams will not play week 1, maybe. So let's not draft him. That is what the market is thinking. They're not thinking like, what are the chances that Mike Williams is a 0? Which of course they're like, okay, that's possible. He also got $10 million, guaranteed. That's a lot of money. Mike will like I draft Williams.
We have poorly. Holy shit, dude. We messed up our bye weeks. We have 1, 2, 3,
I can't
4,
see any of that.
We have week 12 buys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got to take another wide receiver without a week 10, 12 buy in the last round.
That's fine. I build teams like this. I'm okay with that. There's a lot of good teams that play week 12.
The guide thing in the bottom left is the draft caddy, Gabriel. You can find a link to that in the description of this podcast. It costs $29 a month. Liam hates it. He really hates it.
And OBJ, like people are trying to say like OBJ got $10 million. This is what, when you're making that point, this is what you're saying. One singular player failed for a team that barely passes in the Ravens. Therefore, I'm not going to take Mike Williams. Mike Williams could for sure be a 13 to 15 PPR point per game guy. Is there downside? Of course. But Mike Williams could be a league winner.
I really don't buy it, honestly. Like, I really don't buy it at all.
You don't think that Rodgers can throw for like 4,500 yards? Like, no, we're not taking Bo Melton. We have a bunch of 12. Show me the wideouts, please. Because that's a terrible pick for this team in particular.
We're on the clock.
Scroll down. Yeah, put Walker in the queue. Bull Mountain's a bad pick because we have all these week 12 buys, and you don't want just 3 Packers wide receivers to be your non-week 12 wide receivers.
What about Trey? Can I sell you on Trey Tucker?
Yeah. I mean, you read my article about Trey Tucker. He was in my he made the list of like low-owned guys to draft months ago. I've been drafting like the camp buzz on Tucker is negative, where it's like
I've got a little bit of Mike Williams. I've got like a nice little 4% exposure blanket of Mike Williams, but I think he's a bad pick. I think he has a lot of risk, and I think he stinks. And I think the Jets stink, and that's how I feel about that.
That is your vibe based and not how betting markets view it. Like if you listen to betting markets, the Jets are a good team. If you listen to like people who break down positions, the Jets have a good O-line. They have an elite defense. The only question mark is what is Rodgers?
The elite defense is bad for fantasy.
That's like you're like they call it double counting. You are quintuple.
I'm like quadruple counting. Yeah.
Yeah. You like what's this? Let's see what the passing prop is on Rodgers.
It's probably pretty good. It's probably 3,800 yards.
Yeah, it's probably like Rodgers could pass for more yards than so many quarterbacks that go ahead.
Man, I'm not legally liable for this. I'm not legally liable for anyone drafting.
For anyone who doesn't, for anyone who didn't watch my stream, I had Davis on a month and a half ago, and I said, "Hey, this blurb I read in May is saying that Ray McLeod is running ahead of Rondale Moore," and he goes, "Ray McLeod, ha!" And by the way, this was news that was out there. So if you're willing to grind, you could have found this news like I did. Then
3,650 passing yards for Aaron Rodgers.
And compare that to some guys like what's Tua's, what's like
Tua's is going to be massive.
It should, because he passed for a lot of yards, but I like, it's good to just compare it to some guys.
All right, so comparatively, Tua is projected. Let me find it. Do your Rondale Moore bet while I find this.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was like
4,100 passing yards, so 500 more passing yards for
and
Tua.
So like it's probably wrong that we're taking 2 Titans wide receivers before we take a second Jet, because maybe Breece Hall has 600 receiving yards, or maybe Rodgers like throws it to Corley, throws it to Mike Williams. So I'm pretty comfortable taking both those guys and just hoping one is the second. And Conklin, like, just give me shots of like the second Jets guy.
Give me Braylon Allen.
Yeah, give me Braylon Allen too.
Give me Braylon Allen. I guess I'm also more of a.
What's Stafford's passing prop? Because he's another old.
I bet his is massive. I bet his is even.
I bet it's high, but like they're probably baking an injury for him more, so it might be like 3,800.
The one of the things that's very different for you and I, Liam, is I'm a very heuristics based drafter, where like I just have guys that like violate my rules, and you're more of a 1-by-1 guy, like a case by case basis. So they are baking in risk for Stafford. He's 3,900 and a half. So
he's
still
300 yards more than Rodgers, right?
Than Rodgers, yeah.
Yeah, like here's a really bad narrative I've been hearing. Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw to rookies. I mean, number one, he threw to Christian Watson, right? Number two, even Rodgers realizes this could be his last shot. This could be his last shot, period. He does not have the choice to not throw to Malachi Corley if Malachi Corley is good at football, right? Whether Malachi Corley is good at football is a question mark. But even Rodgers is not going to be playing, Randall Cobb over him when they need to win games,
It's just a matter of, well, do they go more heavy personnel with like Ruckert and Conklin? I mean, I think the Jets are.
There are outs to it not happening. Sure, like don't take the Jets in every draft, but taking no Jets is comfortably bad in my opinion.
I mean, I don't have no Jets here. Let's see.
We're only taking the expensive ones. It sounds like, right? Like only Breece and Wilson.
Let's see. Let's see what my
and
Jets exposure is.
And Braylon Allen.
Jets exposure in 404 teams, 24% Braylon Allen, right? Even with the field, actually a little bit lighter than the field with Brees. Yeah, not very much Rodgers, not very much Conklin, not very much Mike Williams.
Mike Williams player prop is like a very similar number to so many players who goes ahead of him. I'm in Florida, so I can't pull that up perfect, but let's pull up the Hard Rock right here. Because I think his like player prop for touchdowns was like 4.5, which is like, okay, 4.5. You know, some years you'll have the Gabe Davis year, you'll have 7 instead. You got player props to pull up, Davis?
From Hoomst. I can pull up
From anywhere, but I can only access. Or let's see, we got we got FanDuel right now.
I can pull up unabated, so we can get
Sure,
we can get a menu.
I think I have unabated too. Receiving props.
Can I pull up? I don't actually even know if I can pull up future. I can pull up. I don't think I can pull up futures props. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, never mind. We don't even have to get into this argument because Kerrane is here.
What are you guys doing? Let's have Pat
Kerrane?
settle it. Pat, do you think that any of the
Bears
Jets
are a dynasty?
The Bears are a dynasty. That's confirmed, brother.
You know what? Liam backdoored his way into the Bears joining the dynastic conversation from the Panthers being so bad.
Honestly, to Liam's credit, I would say he didn't backdoor his way. This was the thesis of the play, that they had all these picks and that somehow they were going to just parlay them into getting Caleb Williams and having receivers around
college tape grinder, so I knew Caleb was like the guy to fix the franchise.
And then the Lions almost go to the Super Bowl. Like it's they
should have, like, him not kicking that field goal to go up 3 scores. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't say I'm not nervous at all. that clip is going to
Gentlemen, Hard Rocks tonight. You better Hard Knocks tonight. You better get your Bears.
The only thing standing in our way of that clip of Liam being able to dunk on us in perpetuity for how much we laughed at him is Brock Purdy. I mean, that's really what's standing in between
Brock Purdy,
us
man.
and thank God.
No, it's the fact you guys are laughing at me, which already puts a lot like.
Yeah, no, that's the onus is on
momentum.
us to be right. Like Liam can be like almost right and win this argument. So we need Caleb to bust, man. We need him to bust.
You're fading the Bears.
I can't. The thing is I'm so long. I'm so long on Caleb and all this shit. Like I took him over Marvin Harrison Jr. and all these super flex leagues and everything that I actually think I just can't win now. There's really not a scenario where I can win.
You middled yourself.
I middled myself. It's not good.
So I think someone posted it for us. Mike Williams, 750 receiving yards, 4.5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if he has 1,007, you're getting a better Gabe Davis in the 14th round, right? Like, Mike Williams could be a 0. Who cares? But they're also waiting all that production to start around week 3 or so. Like, we can just get Chargers Mike Williams, maybe, and maybe it's Conklin, maybe it's Malachi Corley, but I want to take pieces of the Jets. I just think, the Jets could be a good, as long as Rodgers is good, which is like, people don't like Rodgers. There's a lot of bias going against the Jets in the market, in my opinion.
Windhorse me.
Yeah.
Here's
by people, you mean his immediate family.
His teammates,
like you can't push back
coaches.
on that.
Garrett Wilson doesn't seem to like him that much.
Adams likes him. You got it. Devontae Adams likes him on receiver. They like met for dinner. They had like a 3-hour long hang. So he's still got Devontae Adams in his corner even after he left the team. That's something.
All right,
something.
shout out to Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
I got an article coming out on market inefficiencies, and here's the biggest one. Adonai Mitchell's ADP was like 110, 120 for a large portion of the season. He's dropped now with some negative news. He got taken like 5 draft picks ahead of Malachi Corley. He got taken at the tail end of round 2. Malachi
This is not an inefficiency. Corley's. I don't think Corley's anything. It's been bad. It's been bad for Corley.
No, I don't think you could say the real NFL teams.
Kerrane is starting to get good
Corley
again.
Within
like
5
last,
NFL
3
picks
days.
in the real NFL
Okay,
draft.
all right. I mean,
Yeah,
Here's what
it's just-
Malachi Corley is. Here's the dream. He's Rashee Rice on the Jets. That's what I've been sticking with.
he's not
He's
Rashee
not-
Rice though, like at all.
He's too
Like,
small.
He's
He's
a
like
yak
190
guy.
pounds.
He's bigger than Rice.
No,
Right.
wrong. Other way around.
Corley's not really even a route runner. Like Corley's like Randall Cobb is the thesis
That's
of
the
play.
dream.
The dream
Yes.
is he's Randall Cobb. The
Malachi
problem is
Corley
he's probably
weighs-
Amari Riley.
Malachi Corley
this
weighs
is
11
wrong.
more pounds than Rashee Rice.
No shot. I literally, I don't even care if
That's
your
not the
listed
point.
weight.
The point isn't
6'10",
about his weight. It's
2'4".
about his skill set. He doesn't run routes. Like
He's a yak
like
guy. But like, was Rashee running a bunch of routes or was he getting a bunch of
yes.
yak?
Rashee Rice was doing both.
Rashee Rice could be like a smash, right? Like people have floated out the Amon-Ra for sure, but
Yeah, that's more.
think-
Rice is kind of more in that vein.
yeah, he
Corley's
got
not
more,
Amon Ra esque at all. Like that is not. He's a gadget slot. He's like
Wandale.
He's like Wandale. He's like LaVisca. You know.
people were fudding.
Actually, this
Amon-Ra
is
for rookie
hilarious.
year.
Look at his top comp in the Rotoviz Sims. Look at Corley's top comp in the
That
Rotoviz
yes,
Sims.
Ty Montgomery. That is
Literally
a
Ty
very good
Montgomery.
comp. Yeah, I'm not saying it can't work, but I'm just saying
Josh Palmer.
he's
Jonathan
he's
Mingo having a
specific
good
type of
camp.
player.
All right, Liam. Tell people about Beat Best Ball and get out of here before we spend the next 30 minutes arguing
That's
about
the
Malachi
market
Corley.
coming down the pipeline. The last thing I'll end on is Adonai Mitchell went in round 2 and the 20th pick in round 2. Malachi Corley was the first pick of the 3rd round. The Jets will probably pass for more yards and more touchdowns than the Colts. Seems like a market inefficiency to me, but good luck.
Get ready to learn Alan Lazard, buddy.
No,
Ready to learn now.
not even Rodgers will come to humility this year. That's my take.
Oh, that's your bet.
Yeah,
That's your
yeah,
bet.
because he has to. He has to. That's my vibe.
All right.
Oh. Later, Liam. All right, we got to do a real quick saucing before we hop in. Team 2. Oh, I think he drafted a good one. Well, I think Reek and Waddle together is not great, to be honest. I think you want.
So
I don't think
hang on. We're saucing. This is your
Team
team,
two.
or this is someone else's team? Oh,
This
he
is
asked for
this is
sauce.
Glue
Okay.
Eater. Yeah.
All right.
Tyreek and Waddle. I don't love it together. Ayuk.
This is BBM. Yeah.
Yes, this is
It's not my
BBM.
favorite. It's not my favorite.
I don't love it. Ayuk, whatever. McBride, you let Murray go. You tried to push it. You got the spice there. Not ideal. Walker is a good pick. Caleb with Keenan.
Caleb with
I mean,
Keenan.
He took Keenan over all the Chiefs guys, though. I don't know. It's probably fine.
I mean,
Corum.
it's the running back. The running backs are the potential issue here. You either took the oldest, dustiest guys you possibly could, Raheem Mostert,
Or guys
J.K.
with no
Dobbins,
role.
or guys with no role.
No role. Yeah, like
not
you're
a single snap.
you like somehow are not projected for enough week 1 points or enough week 17 points.
Yeah, week 8 will be sick, dude.
week 8 you're gonna smash. But I mean, he did do. I mean, look, he sauced. He wanted a sauce because you hopped on the team.
Yeah, so he took
because
Drake May.
because he's got May and Baker, so he's like, all right, sick.
You saved it, dude. And you know what? I'm in.
I'm in.
You did it.
All right, let's go hop in Best Ball Mania 5. So I guess what's the big? I guess Eckler is our big target. We took Kamara with
Oh,
we took Kamara with Herzig, and we took Chase with Liam.
yeah. Eckler, Stevenson, Barkley, who I've completely turned against.
Yeah, I was trying to think of someone on that team that I actually like would want to take now.
Godwin was on that team. DJ Moore.
Okay,
None of these
DJ
players
Moore.
actually want to take.
And we got 4. We got 4 again. Beautiful.
Mm,
We're running
I don't know
running
what
hot
you
with
did
the
there for
draft
3 or 4,
spots.
though. Who else was? Could we do? Oh, Waddle was on the team.
Okay, there we go. So we do
Yeah.
Jefferson Waddle.
Jefferson
Nice
Waddle
start.
sounds great. Tyquan Thornton was on the team. We could take him. He'll be available.
He will definitely. It sounds like he's going to make the team. Actually, I was doing some reading. It sounds like he is right now a slight favorite to make the team because Juju is not going to make the team. Like it's so bad with Juju that they're like, let's just cut him. Like let's just the dead money doesn't even matter. Like he's just so bad.
I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. Juju's, yeah, it's over.
Maybe we get CD. Okay, I was going to say maybe we get CD. You good with Jefferson over Chase?
I'm good with Jefferson.
Yeah, I spent a long time refuting Gretsch's Garrett Wilson over Jefferson Chase. Just in my head. Just in my head. In my head. I DM'd it to our group chat the other day, and I wasn't that convinced by Gretsch's counter argument, to be honest. I got
to go back and read it.
So Gretsch's case is right up into a point. So Gretsch is basically like, Garrett Wilson looks much more like what a true like number one overall scorer in fantasy football looks like than St. Brown, like both in target volume, where he gets targeted, the types of routes he runs, all of that stuff, which I agreed with. So I can get with him over St. Brown, but where I can't get with him is projecting the Jets passing offense to be that much meaningfully better than the Vikings offense, considering every contextual tiebreaker goes to Jefferson. Like literally everyone. Indoors, bad defense, bad defensive division, all that stuff. And do you know Nick Mullins' career? Did I say this yesterday?
You said this on ADP chasing. Yeah.
Yeah. Nick Mullins' career ADP is in the 8s. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it's like, can Sam Darnold be 7.4 YPA, which would be bad for a Kevin O'Connell quarterback? Probably.
Yeah. And to me, the Jefferson, it's like, he's Jefferson, man. He's Jefferson.
Yeah.
Like
he's the best.
He's the best receiver in the league. Yeah. So yeah, maybe you could say Tyreek Hill. I think he's a better receiver than CeeDee Lamb, though. You put CeeDee Lamb or you put Justin Jefferson on the Cowboys, like, holy shit.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's where I just put more stock into like knowing for a fact that Jefferson is a top 2, top 1 NFL receiver, and Wilson's good. He's a hell of a lot better than the stats would say, but I also think that's like being taken into account. That's another part of the argument that I'm not as open, or like, I don't know. I'm not seeing it the same. I'm like, wait, aren't we already factoring that in? Like he's the 111.
He's being drafted 20 spots ahead of his highest positional finish or whatever.
Right. So I think the market's actually doing a pretty good job of adding context to Wilson. Could you add more context? Yeah, like maybe he should go ahead of St. Brown with that added context. But I just think like, man, it's Justin Jefferson. Like that's the context. It's like you're getting the best receiver.
This thing versus Chase too is like Jefferson and Chase have been in the NFL for a very similar period, and Jefferson is like much. Oh fuck, Waddle goes. All right, what do you want to do?
I would take Achane.
Yep. All right, this is exactly how we started the last one, and I love it. Beautiful. Have you ever considered drafting the same team 900 times consecutively?
Honestly, it's great for me because I'm like, getting a little taste of the Davis Mattek team in my portfolio, adding it into my card. It's still.
Come on, are you telling me you don't do that? I guess you probably just take Chase at 4.
I take Chase. I do take Chase because
we got Achane all 3 of these teams. Got him with Herzig, got him with you, and got him with Liam.
Damn, this draft is flying.
Yeah, it is.
Neighbors is great.
Yeah, neighbors. Yeah, ship it. Welcome.
I do take Chase, but I think he's also great, and he's got Burrow, and
he's got a good Week 17 game. Yeah. I got no issue with it.
And he goes there too. I guess it's sort of like a funny thing of like, what if Garrett Wilson went at the 104 and Jefferson went 105? How would you handle that? Would you take Garrett Wilson to make sure you got your 8% like I want of Chase, or would you take?
Wait, say that again.
I guess I'm realizing part. part of the argument for Chase over Jefferson is just that Chase goes over Jefferson.
That literally, yeah. I would like if Chase win at 6, I'd be like, smash every time, press the button.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just like, and I feel like the market is being a little illogical. Truly, I really do feel like this is a little illogical, and I kind of thought it would come back to me, and it hasn't. It just hasn't.
Yeah, honestly, because it's like the case for Chase is pretty similar to the case for Wilson in a sense. Chase has been better, but he's been in such a better situation. So maybe I should take my argument for Jefferson one step further and just take him over Chase a little more.
I mean, it is crazy to think that Chase's best season was his rookie season. Isn't that kind of weird to be like Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase is this crazy, amazing player, and his best season was his rookie season, and his best season would have been Jefferson's 3rd best season. Like, isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
that's nuts.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So that's well, I mean, I guess it depends on how you want to account for like touchdowns and everything. Because Chase actually has the best single season touchdown season of any of them, which actually maybe is an argument for why Jefferson is so quarterback proof, because he doesn't even need to score touchdowns. He doesn't even need to score touchdowns, which is nuts.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. We might get boxed into the Sam Sherman corner here. Depending on, because with the A-Chain luxury pick does put us in a spot to potentially get buried by the Avalanche.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. The 6, we're on the front half of the board, 6-7. You can get 2 receivers now.
Correct.
So it's as long as you have 2 receivers through 3, you're not going to get buried.
Okay. Damn, Kelsey goes. That sucks. Do you want to do Mahomes wide receiver, Lamar Andrews? Do you want to do T? What do you want to do?
I do Andrews Lamar in this spot most of the time.
Same.
Because if you don't, the reason I like this too, because I've always been doing it basically if I've got 3 receivers, but even with 1 running back in here, if you get sniped on Lamar, it hurts less because you're like, well, I kind of need a receiver actually. So, structurally, Andrews' receiver is kind of a better build. But obviously, I still take Lamar over the receiver. He's there.
Yeah, and the ridiculous Chase spike weeks are totally there. I got. It's not like when you're choosing 1st round picks, it's not like I'm being like Jamar Chase is trash and I'll never take him. Yeah, but I really hope that someone does the right thing and doesn't let Team 5 get Mahomes, because he just got this insane price on Kelsey and Lamar.
And there goes Jackson. Damn.
All right. Well, I think the 5-hole is going to get the insane Mahomes value. What can you do?
That sucks.
Yeah.
Come on, 2 or 3.
Just do the right thing, guys.
Mahomes Rice is sitting right there for you. You couldn't do that 5 out of the 1 hole.
Oh, Christian Kirk, Lamar Jackson instead of Mahomes Rice. PU. I guess it's good to be drafting in August. I guess that's why we saved some bullets, Pat.
God damn. Come on.
Naked Mahomes is so dead. It's
so
dead.
dead.
It's so dead.
It's so dead.
You really can't do it. Yeah, we got to take
Rashi, what a bummer. I think. Let's take Rashi, yeah.
This is what you have to ask yourself, guys, with the naked Mahomes. You get to the final with naked Mahomes. What are you hoping for? What are you hoping happens? You're hoping Mahomes got you there
McKinnon
and
was
Mahomes,
re-signed.
Yeah,
that's what you're hoping.
You're hoping. I guess you get there and you say Mahomes got me there, but then he sucks in week 17 and just hands off all week 17. I guess.
No, it really is that you're hoping for Mecole Hardman, Kadarius Toney, CEH or Deneric Prince, or seriously Jerick McKinnon. Like someone scores a couple touchdowns from the backfield, and the most random dudes alive score touchdowns. He
has done this before. It's
He did it
this
in the
game
Super Bowl. I
against.
mean, Super Bowl was to Hardman, you know?
He's done this. He did this against the Raiders. He threw one to Byron Pringle, one to Noah Gray, one to
Yeah.
Darrell Williams. Like he does have
That's what you need.
some games like that in his
But
range.
it's thin because it is through the passing game. Like he's not, you know, he can move around, but he's not like a true dual threat. So you're gonna get the touchdowns are gonna come through the air, and then you got to hope it's not Kelsey, it's not Rice, it's not Worthy, it's not Hollywood. Seems thin.
Louis Reese-Zamet.
It's not Pacheco too. That's the other, like
That's the other thing.
there's gonna be Pacheco builds. Like it's very thin.
Guys, what the chat is failing to understand is I would do this 100% of the time if I was offered it. If I could take Devin H, I mean, Kerrane, I would never mix it up if I was offered this start 150 times.
Well, we wanted Waddle, so you think you would mix it up if you got Waddle.
Oh, sure, I would. Well, that's the way I have it ranked, though. That's the way I have it ranked.
Right.
But like if A-Chain is at the top of my ranking, I'm not gonna, I'm not mixing it up for the sake of mixing it up when Devin A-Chain is there. Like why would I?
Yeah.
Oh no, the guy who scored 50.
3 times in a row.
Ugh, I can't possibly win. Yeah, that's the thing is the BBM drafter has A-Chain at 28 instead of 21. Probably.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe,
I mean, I'm
but
taking
a
lot of A-Chain. But also, like, guess what? This isn't a cumulative scoring format. The guy who has A-Chain at 28 most likely doesn't even make the semis. Like that's
he's got Brandon Ayuk catching passes from Jacoby Brissett, dude. He's dead. Oh, all right. We are about back. We are going to run into a wide receiver that we like here. You love to see
the 6th round is great now. I'm a big fan of the 6th round.
Well, the issue though is that it's going to mean a lot more 3 tight end teams though, because Kittle and Pitts are
they're
way
moving
up
up
the board. Ladd, Thomas, or JSN.
I like all of them.
We don't have quarterbacks set up yet, so I think we should take
Ladd's
Ladd.
probably the best. Yeah. Pete's worried about Ladd with the limping off the field. Looks like it was an ankle.
It's the same. It's the same limping. It's like this is what we knew about him. He literally is like a walking red injury flag. He had like 1,100 receiving yards in college total. Period. The whole time.
Seems bad though. Like
yeah, he just didn't play very much.
But it sounds like you are worried, but we still took him.
No, I'm not worried because I've made my peace with it. Like there's nothing to worry about. It just is what it is.
No, there is something to worry about.
No, there's nothing. What I'm saying is that you just have to make your peace with it. You just have to. All right, and we're gonna get Brian Thomas anyway, so it's gonna work out.
Sweet.
Like what I'm saying is, him being the wide receiver 42 or whatever is well accounted for, I think.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Non-derogatory.
I prefer Ladd straight up because Ladd can lead his team in targets and JSN can't, I don't think.
I had this choice today and I took Ladd. I do think Ladd versus JSN versus Brian Thomas there would have been a discussion because that's our 3rd rookie and we have Rice. So you're potentially dealing with a lot of not productive games from the wide receivers.
I'm not worried about that with Neighbors for real.
Yeah, I guess that's true. He's not really a rookie in that sense.
He is. I mean, every clip of him, I'm like, he might be better than Marvin Harrison Jr. already. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. looks great. Isn't it so funny how different these things are? Like literally, we had Olabisi Johnson starting over Justin Jefferson 4 years ago. Yeah. And now we have Brian Dable asking Malik Neighbors to call his own number when they're doing joint practices versus the Lions.
Yeah, I mean I guess with Neighbors there is still his early season production is going to be below what you would expect for an early to mid 3rd round pick. He's not like a rookie in the sense of like he might not deliver much until mid-season, but it could be not so great to begin.
Sure. Apparently CMC has a calf strain and is not going to play at all in the preseason. It's being
Don't love that.
It's being reported right now. Liam's saying all the 49ers players are taking a coordinated dive to try and prevent the team from trading Brandon Ayuk, which probably, yeah, probably. I mean, it's so nonsensical for the 49ers to allow him to move. I really don't get it. Next year, their team is going to be so old. Like CMC is going to be 29. Debo and Kittle are both going to be 30 and 31. What is the plan there?
Well, I mean, it seems like maybe the plan is to show Ayuk that the market isn't as strong as he hoped it was, and that he's going to have to go play with Deshaun Watson if he wants to leave, or a rookie quarterback. Maybe that's the plan. Maybe he's not getting traded, right? Like I'm starting to.
CMC called Ayuk a former teammate on air and then corrected himself.
Okay, well, all right. It is strange though. Like they should.
It must just be this. It must just be they just like really don't like each other. Like the relationship is fractured for real.
Yeah, but they were going to trade. Remember, they're trying to trade him on draft day. So like maybe the relationship has been soured, since before the draft, but it's then like, why didn't they actually trade him if that was the case? Like it seems like they're just like, yeah, we don't really want to pay this guy as much as he wants, so we're going to try and trade him, which.
What do you want to do here?
Oh, Chase Brown.
Yeah, let's go. Kerrane knows ball. I mean, dude, he's just a good pick.
It's a good pick, man.
He's a good pick. 8th round Chase Brown. This is where I thought watching Chase Brown rack up screen passes at the end of the season last year when the Bengals season was over, I was like, that's where the market's going to have him next year. He's just going to start out at this point and then steadily go up. Like I couldn't be more stunned that the absolute sweaty nerds on Underdog were letting him be a 12th round pick at any point. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't as aggressive as I should have been. I was just over the market when he was in that range, and I just have been rug pulled. The Zach Moss signing was like the exact kind of guy.
Yes, it's like it's the same thing as signing Devin Singletary or whatever.
Exactly.
All right, you want to take another running back? Do you want to take Jaden Daniels?
We could go Palmer and do the double stack. I think it's fine with the receiver room we have. I'm fine going with Robinson or Pollard, though.
I think let's do Pollard. I just like a 9th round Josh Palmer. I don't know. Isn't 9th round Josh Palmer so likely to be the Marquez Callaway? Like you look at it and you're like, what the Josh Palmer? We knew who he was. Yeah. We're not going to learn anything new about Josh Palmer. The fact that DJ Shark is like earning targets in practice, probably a bad sign for the Josh Palmer Bulls out there.
I mean, I think you could get like a Thielen type of win out of it.
Yes.
And in the same way that Thielen faded, I think Palmer probably fades, though, not because he'll fall off, but because McConkey probably comes on. So, yeah. But I mean, that like Thielen in the 9th last year would have been an okay pick. I would have railed against it all summer, but it would have paid off okay. Where was he going? He's going more like the 11th, I think. I still hated it, but it worked.
Yeah. It did work. I mean, it worked depending on your definition of worked, right?
Jacoby Myers, Zach in the chat points out.
Jacoby Myers is a good win. Yeah. Jacoby Myers, more touchdowns.
That's a similar bet. I think Jacoby Myers is better than Palmer, though.
Oh, for sure. I think there's no debate about that. Jacoby Myers is a good player.
He's good. Yeah, and he's like been good. Like his whole career.
You want to talk about a player I would be drafting the piss out of? Jacoby Myers on the Chargers. I'd be taking him in the 6th round.
Honestly, I would be pretty in on Jacoby Myers on the Chargers.
I take Pollard and Spears on the same team. I like the ambiguous backfield handcuff. I
like it the cheaper it gets. So I don't do it a ton with Pollard Spears. I'm not completely opposed to it. I did some earlier with Brown Moss. Now I'm just gonna take Brown. Unless Moss falls a lot, and then I would do it. Then I've done
as Moss has fallen. I think I have like 2 going on in the slow puppy right now, where I've got both.
Yeah. Like if Moss came back here, I'd be okay with it. Obviously he's gone.
Did you max enter the slow puppy?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just in it for the love of the game, dude, and that's what I love about you. You are just in it for the love of the game,
I
and
am.
that is it's so pure. Yeah, I love that, man. All right, I really wish that we had a bear, but we do not.
We don't.
What do you want to do here? Because this is a pretty appealing spot to take Caleb.
But we don't. Yeah. God. I mean, Gus
this is set up to be a 3 quarterback team,
right.
And there is a third quarterback who's kind of like the hot ticket. I wanted to take Corum.
I think Gus is doable here.
Yeah, that sets us up more.
Sets us up for Herbert.
Or Herbert stuff.
Yeah.
Damn.
So what are our running backs now? We got Achane.
This is a ship chasing ass running back room.
Dude, you don't know how comfy I am with these rooms. Like these are, I'm like, oof, overspent a little at running back, but I think we can recover.
It's the 2024 on Underdog is so insane. Where this can be your running back room with Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors, and Rashee Rice. It's nuts.
Yeah. Right, dude. Is Rice not going to get suspended at all this season?
I think it's gonna be next year. That's what it seems like.
It is just he is such a smash. Still in the 5th, if that's true.
Do you want to do Judy? Do you want to do Freiermuth and maybe set up a certain unnamed quarterback to be selected later on?
Yeah.
Lawrence with Brian
fun.
Thomas.
Let's do Freiermuth.
All right, perfect. Starting to get. I want a little bit more. I want a little bit more Freiermuth anyway, because the Steelers wide receiver 2 is like the professor of defense against the dark arts situation, where it's like Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, Allen Robinson, Roman Wilson breaks his ankle.
Like every year.
It's really, really bad.
Every week there's a new one.
Yeah, it's just there. So I think if that's going to be the case, I would like to push back against this. I think that this is really wrong when it's a wide receiver. I mean, first off, my bags are well packed with Rashee
that's
Rice,
the other thing. It's
wide
not,
receiver 48
I have him there.
So I got him there, but the price is still not right. The price is still unsuspended Rashee Rice probably goes ahead of Kelsey. Really, I think is almost the right way to think about it.
He was going ahead of Kelsey before the
big board,
before the Worthy pick, but
yes,
still, I mean, the market had him ahead of Kelsey. Now, I think that was probably wrong, but I have 28% of Rice in Best Ball Mania, so I've been aggressively drafting Rice since the beginning. I mean, he's been, it was absurd. The price was absurd, and those teams are obviously better positioned. But, this is an exponential scale that we move up. So currently he's in the 5th round. He's probably like in an auction, a $200 budget. What's that like going to be, like $20? He's a $20 player, maybe.
Something like that.
And before he was going for like $12. So that's a big, that's a really nice $12 player. But like with the amount of variance that we have when we get into the playoff weeks, teams getting bounced in huge amounts, and you're thinned out to what, 500 something final.
What if the permutations just work out better for the Rashee Rice? Like, what if in week 16, Rashee Rice and Gus Edwards outscore whatever let's say Keenan Allen and Rashee Rice would, or just whatever way those rounds would have flipped. Like,
well, it's also about getting access. Like maybe there's something in the last rounds that we're going to do, or that other people drafting Rice in the 5th now are going to do, that people earlier on weren't doing. Like there's a guy that we're taking now that people weren't taking. Maybe it's Fields or something like that. Like there's stuff. We don't know yet which part of the summer actually had the best prices on guys. Rice is he's probably one of the guys that we're going to be like, oh man, that was such a win.
Maybe early Rice drafters weren't taking Fields.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Or whoever else. Like, we don't know yet, but there's going to be, in retrospect, some like, oh man, the best time to draft was this time because that's when you could get
how many Rice at 87, 17th round CEH teams?
Yeah, there you go. Right. So now theoretically, if he was a first round pick, sure, I would be out at but I'd mostly be out because that's like too expensive. He's still a really good pick in the 5th. Like, it's still a smash if he's not suspended and you got him in the 5th. Like, that's still just such a smash.
All right, we are going to get one of the quarterbacks that we want here, maybe even both, depending on what this guy does here. Hope he doesn't take Lawrence, because that would be sick to get. Yeah, wow. Lawrence like 20 spots after ADP.
That's pretty amazing.
It's pretty good. Welcome to the team, Trevor Lawrence. Might even get our second quarterback coming back around. Yeah, this somebody is me. Someone has a ton of Rashi in the 90s and Wicks at 140. Yeah. That would be me. I think you mean Wicks at 140 is the pick of the year. It's possible. You're just a little.
It's better than 94.
Yeah, I mean, look, even I can't really click Wicks in the 9th round as the foremost.
Getting wild, man.
It's getting wild. Yeah, I think thankfully the family night stuff is gonna push him back a little bit. The 6% of snaps or whatever.
Yeah, not ideal.
All right, what do you want to do here? Do you want to wrap up running back? Do you want to take Herbert with Ladd?
Yeah, I think Herbert with Ladd.
Come on down. All right, we've not taken a wide receiver since round 7. I mean, this is what you do. Justin Jefferson, Devin A-Chain, Neighbors, Andrews, Rice, Ladd, Brian Thomas. Then you take a break, get rid of the Avalanche, Chase Brown, Pollard, Edwards, Freiermuth, Lawrence, Herbert. Wow, Pollard is even a little, I didn't even realize, little bring back there.
Yeah, bring back on Lawrence.
For the Lawrence stuff. What's my Kelsey exposure? I assume it's similar to my real exposure, like my overall, which is like 20%, 19%, something like that. Kelsey, Bowers, and Fant are my 3 most drafted tight ends, which is that's real cabal stuff right there. That's like I'm just doing what I'm told. I'm showing up and I'm drafting Noah Fant.
My 3 highest drafted tight ends. I'll give you my 5 highest. Hunter Henry's number 1. You show where my head's at on Drake.
Where do you get your ideas?
From Legendary Upside.
From LegendaryUpside.com.
Mark Andrews, Kelsey, Juwan Johnson, still drafting him. He's running.
Yeah.
And Jonnu Smith. What people think, whatever it was, it will always be.
But we can become.
Quote, you know what I'm talking about?
I thought you were going Kamala Harris. I was gonna go. We must become unburdened by what has been.
No, I'm quoting Mike McDaniel, who said, "People think whatever it was, it shall always be." Meaning, I'm gonna actually use the tight end this year because I have one.
People forget Jonnu Smith had more 100-yard games than Kyle Pitts last year.
Not Sam Sherman.
Sam has never forgotten.
It's monogrammed around those plates behind him. It's a rare pattern. It's actually quite valuable.
Oh, man. How much Kraft? Here's the thing. Kraft was on pace to be my most drafted tight end in the big board until he tore his pec lifting weights. Yeah. So I really slowed it down, but he is a really good pick, and he's. I need to
start taking him. I got to get him back up the ranks too, because the torn pec was not great.
When in my brain, like when I shut the switch off of taking a guy, it's hard to turn that. You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah.
It's hard to turn that switch back on, even when the information changes.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a couple picks on the board that are sort of interesting. It's hard to say exactly who we should click at 14-9, but all right.
Wait. I do think Fields or I do think Dobbins to close us out at running back is helpful in that same double backfield thing we talked about, where we're locking in the bet on the Chargers backfield, and then we can be done.
Okay.
And like, I know we want the quarterback too, but we have 2 quarterbacks, so it is a true luxury pick.
It's a true luxury pick.
Yeah. And now
Uh,
we have the Chargers backfield with Herbert, unless it's Vidal, which it probably is.
well, this is a good hedge. This is a good hedge for both of us because we both have slappy Vidal bags, and so this is the Vidal is dead team.
Yeah, this is Vidal is dead.
Bro, yes, this is crazy. It is crazy to have more Brendan Rice than Rashee Rice. That's
You're drafting the wrong Rice, dude.
I mean, it's fine to have 3% Brendan Rice. I think that's a very comfortable blanket to have.
Yeah.
But come on, brother.
All right, look at that. Look at that, Davis.
Look at that. Look at that. Justin Fields, 15.4. We're all trying to find the guy who did this.
And the Rashee Rice bring back? Come on.
The Rashee Rice bring back.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Have fun with Mahomes, Kelsey. We got Fields, Rashee.
We got Fields, Rashee. You know what is such a bummer about this particular thing? I mean, obviously, it's going to end up with me having more Fields than I would have. Although I did have 8% Fields before, so I was still ahead of the field. But now Fields ownership in BBM is going to be 75%, 80% or something instead of
I think lower.
30%.
I mean, there's still so many. That'd probably be like 40 to 50%. I guess. Well, every draft's but it's already more than half full. Every draft, so it'd probably be like 55%.
Peppertoni, this is what you guys have got to understand. I will say anything to Soccer Dave. Like if Soccer, I will just tell Soccer Dave, he'd be like, Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time. And I would be like, are you sure about that? Don't you know this little guy from New England, Brady? You ever heard of him? Like you can't, anything I am saying to Soccer Dave, you can't really take that seriously. Herzig says he's at 64%.
Okay, 80. All right. I was underestimating how much you've been drafted before then.
So that kind of stinks. Kind of stinks. Yeah, I mean this is good. But what if Bonesaw? What if Russ doesn't practice? Like, what if Russ never takes reps with the first team and it's just over? Like it's just over.
I think he gets reps with the first team because they want to see. It's doing due diligence. Like if you're going to flip it and start Fields, you at least need to see Russ with the ones.
Yeah.
Unless he, hurts himself pushing a sled again. Dude, I want to see, I know everyone's seen the video of him pushing the sled. I want to see the video before he pushed the sled. I want to see how him all hyped up, ready to push that sled. Talking about leadership.
God. I like the oh. James is saying Russ took the first team reps today.
All right. See, there you go. Right.
Russ just took a huge jump in his recovery. Yeah, if Russ retires, where are we drafting Fields? I mean, if Russ retires, he's like the quarterback 9 right after Kyler.
Yeah. I think you'd probably take him over Daniels. He'd be right.
For sure over Daniels. We got proof of concept.
Here's one concern I have about Fields. One question that I would have is, who is the Steelers' backup now? It would be important to know who the backup is. Which points to the bench.
I thought I knew it. But I don't. It's it's Kyle Allen.
Okay, he's safe.
He's
Kyle
Allen and John Reese Plumlee. So
I bet he would go right next to Kyler.
Super safe.
Yeah, he's super safe.
Yeah. I low key kind of like John Reese Plumlee, but that's a deep ball take. Would you rather have Jaden Reed over Rashee Rice on a Justin Jefferson team? No, I would just rather have Rashee Rice. I'm sorry, Jordan.
What does it matter? I don't understand what. Oh, because of
the week 17.
Yeah. No, I'd rather have Rashee. You can also sometimes get Jaden Reed in the 6th.
What do you want to do here? Feels like a Luke McCaffrey spot.
We could do the double with with Fields. That seems fine. Luke McCaffrey's fine.
No. Roman Wilson has a freaking ankle sprain. He's a rookie, dude.
Yeah. All right. Well, McCaffrey's a rookie too.
Luke does not have an ankle sprain. Luke didn't
That's
sprain
true.
his ankle.
That's a good point.
That's another heuristic. I don't really like to take injured players ever, especially preseason injured players.
Unless you've made peace with it.
Unless it's just like I don't need to worry about it. I've just made peace with it. Pat, it seemed pretty straightforward to me.
What aren't you getting?
All right, we need another wide receiver.
All right, Greg Dortch.
Greg Dortch. It is so funny how Greg Dortch went from being a bit to like I'm not. It's like now I'm not the only one doing it.
Well, honestly, like we have Luke McCaffrey, we have Brian Thomas, we have Rashee Rice who could get suspended. We
kind of need a guy who's going to get 6 targets in week 1.
Yeah. Like we've got 4 rookies now? 5 rookies? We have a lot of rookies. 4 rookies plus Rice, I think, is what it is.
Luke, Brian Thomas, Ladd,
Neighbors, Rice.
Yeah.
A
lot of rookies.
That's
how we like to draft.
But Dortch is helpful. He serves a purpose on the team.
I mean, Dortch has don't get me wrong. This is how good the offseason has been to me is like the Dortch thing started as a bit, and then the Cardinals are like, Greg Dortch is the greatest slot wide receiver that we've ever seen.
They love him.
Like, they love him.
The other thing is that we thought we had a bunch of these dudes. We thought Darius Slayton was one of these guys. He's running behind Hyatt now. They don't like him clearly. Like he keeps asking for more money, and they're like, no. We lost Rondale.
Yeah.
Ray McLeod just like totally took his job. He's running with the 3s on like a subterranean field.
The subterranean field. That really killed me. I don't know why that specific blurb really killed me, but I was just like, why are they making Rondale walk downstairs to go like play below? That just seems mean. Like, he's got to go play with Taylor Heineke below. He just hears the guys having fun upstairs.
He can't see them because it's the over. He just can only hear the first team. I want to see a picture of Rondale.
He's jumping over the wall.
Yeah, he's just his eyes coming up over the wall. What's going on?
Oh, so that's brutal. That's a brutal thing
man.
that we're having to deal with.
We lost Rondale. We thought, oh, you could take Rondale, you could take Slayton, Dortch. It doesn't matter. All these guys. So Khalif Raymond, he's going to get run. There's lots of veterans down here. There's kind of not. Dortch is like the only guy that's like still free where you're just like, yeah.
And a bunch of the rookies are getting like Devontae Walker hurt his ankle. Like, Traylon Burks. You taking Traylon Burks?
Oh, I mean, on Levis teams, I am.
Yeah.
But
what's the vibes based take we can do from your team? There probably isn't one. Javon Baker, I guess, is theoretically. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, well, we didn't get anybody from the team, I don't think.
Jordan Whittington just for Trey Tucker.
Whittington, I would be fine with. That's a little bring back on Dortch.
That is a little bring back on Dortch.
A very random rookie wide receiver is your last pick. Is Troy Franklin actually would be fitting with that if you want to do that.
Troy Franklin is Tyquan Thornton.
He's Tyquan Thornton, so
yeah. Okay. That lines up perfectly. Troy Franklin scores 2 touchdowns, and then literally we never hear from him again.
Yeah. That sounds
Except
right.
for when Sean is drafting with Peter and makes him take him in the 11th round of all of their drafts together. It's like one of Sean's best bits is he's like, oh, it's a stream draft. I'm worried we're not getting him. We better take him in the 9th round.
We better take Tyquan Thornton here. He won't come back. Yeah.
All right.
I really hope Franklin's more than that, but we'll see.
Man. Let's see. Did we save it? Jefferson, A-Chain, Neighbors. It's a pretty hot fire start. I think if offered, I would do 150 Jefferson A-Chain starts and be like, I can find the winner from there, I think.
Well, but I mean, can I get A-Chain in the third?
Yeah. I wouldn't actually do that because, Curtin, CMC, or Tyreek might be who you need, but it's a pretty good start.
It's a pretty nice start.
I do love Neighbors. I don't mind having Andrews without Lamar because probably, how many of your exact teams do you have like this where you've got Lamar in the 4th or you've got Andrews in the 4th, Lamar in the 5th? Like how much of your Andrews has Lamar?
I mean, I naturally diversify because the room breaks up the stack enough so I probably have, I don't know, 40%, maybe less, maybe 30% of my Andrews teams have Lamar.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Because the thing about Lamar is he's very expensive. So do you have to just outright beat Lamar? You don't. What if Fields scores 90% of what Lamar scores in week 17? And also Fields just could straight up outscore Lamar if he's out there. If he's out there, he's live to do it. So if you can replace the Lamar points with cheap quarterback points, it's amazing.
From ESPN. Neighbors is behind Calvin Ridley in ESPN PPR scoring ranks. That's a good bit.
We live in a different world.
Well, I did. So I just put out my cheat sheet of so it's aggregated ADPs from, ESPN, CBS, Yahoo, yada, yada, so on and so forth. And I went through and color coded it based on this is what I would do in a home league type thing. And it is crazy. You get to the 70s and you're Rashee Rice in the 70s. You're Chase Brown is in the 130s. It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah. The home leagues are, it's a different world.
It's a different world.
Yeah. But you just do what you want and you factor in ADP just enough to get who you want. Yeah.
Okay. Rice, McConkey, Thomas. Do you have any regrets about any of these 3 selections?
Not really. I think the Thomas pick, as I said, JSN in some ways was a better fit, but then it set us up for the Lawrence with the Pollard bring back. So that ended up being a nice addition to the team. And then the McConkey got us on to Herbert with the backfield in tow. So those picks were pretty sweet as far as how they helped us set up the rest of the team.
Yeah. And then this is a beautiful run right here. Chase Brown, Pollard, Edwards, Freiermuth. On a team where you don't have, when you want to, Freiermuth at 124 with Andrews is pretty nice. It's just a tight end who's going to not be getting zeros every single week behind your spike week guy is very nice.
Yeah, it is nice. And Arthur Smith does involve the tight end, even though Pitts didn't crush under him, right? But partly it's because he involved the tight end.
But Michael Pruitt did.
Yeah, and Jonnu Smith did.
Michael Pruitt had a career year.
And Freiermuth isn't a big wide receiver. He's a tight end. He's just a regular old tight end.
He's just regular old tight end.
He can do the play action stuff. He can block. He can do regular tight end things. So I think he's probably set up decently well. He's not someone I'm hammering, but I like bringing him up a little bit. If we're going to be taking more Fields, he's a nice way to set that up.
Yeah, he and Warren. Okay, everyone wants us to address Christian McCaffrey has a calf injury. He's not going to play in the preseason. Eli Mitchell is also questionable for these preseason games. They signed Matt Breida. Ricky Pearsall tweaked his shoulder. Everyone wants to talk about the 49ers injuries. I will say I have 22% Debo already. I don't know how much higher I could possibly take him. I don't know. What do you got on the 49ers? CMC injury.
Yeah, this happened while we were on, so I don't really know anything other than the headline. CMC as a calf strain won't play in the preseason. So it depends. All right, so he said Shanahan said McCaffrey might miss a couple weeks as from Road World, but there's no indications he's in danger of missing week 1. The likelihood that we were going to see McCaffrey in the preseason were slim to none already. they recommend drafting Elijah Mitchell, which I kind of don't because I'm not sure he's the 2.
He's got 34 days to get healthy right now.
Yeah, I would say my initial take on this is that if the market's going to offer a discount on it, then I'm probably going to take that discount.
Shanny is saying that Ayuk is more likely to be traded than to sign an extension with the 49ers, which I gotta, as a fantasy football tout, I gotta eat my crow because the whole time I said Ayuk wasn't going to get traded. Although for my best ball stuff, Pat, this doesn't really matter at all because I wasn't really drafting Ayuk, and
Nice.
I've got all these Debo bags. So what is
the best way to play the CMC stuff is probably just to hammer Debo right now. Because if Ayuk goes, if CMC misses time and Ayuk is out of there, like Debo is such a smash. Also Kittle, this is like pretty nice for Kittle, this whole setup.
Huge for Kittle.
Huge for Kittle. If they have to pass a little more and Ayuk's gone, like pretty big for Kittle. So yeah, I would say the most actionable thing is to move Debo up because Debo could be the 112 when it's all said and done.
Debo was the 112 in that draft we just did.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, he honestly could flip Puka if this, Puka's dealing with
I bet that is an overreaction, but I bet he will.
No, yeah, I don't want to do that, but I think that could happen.
All right. Farid, my man.
What's up, Farid? How's it going?
What's going on, guys?
We are just live reacting to Christian McCaffrey having an injured calf. He injured his calf. He's not going to play in the preseason, and people are freaking out. They're freaking out, dude.
Yeah, he has a calf strain. So
he's 29,
he's gonna
dude.
miss a couple weeks. Yeah, he's 29. He's coming into his prime.
He's coming into his prime, dude. He's coming into his prime.
Most running backs are like, you're worried about him. See, he's just posting pictures of his bruises on Twitter and just going and putting up 40 burgers.
That's all he does, dude. That is what he's there for. Kerrane, do you want to go or do you want to hang around with us?
I should jump. I gotta do a bunch of writing.
All right. Tell the people about this. I actually just read your running back Oasis series. Tell the people about it and tell them what they can get on legendaryupside.com.
Yeah, Legendary Upside. I've been rolling out this article series this week on the running backs going around 7 through 10, doing profiles on each of those running backs, looking at whether the production, their path to production is a historical anomaly. Basically, are these way more projectable running backs than we're used to in this range? What their talent-based range of outcomes is, and then if there's any additional contingent value that they offer. So through that framework, and then looking at their stats and everything, diving into which of these guys I'm really targeting. Did round 7 on Monday. Round 8 came out today. Round 9 is coming out tomorrow. Round 10 will come out Thursday. And then Daniel Raz has an article on this part of the draft as well that's going to drop Friday. So lots of good stuff this week. We've got a Dynasty auction article by Steph Miller coming out. I've got a lot more content coming out over the next couple of weeks. Check it out. And then we also have the Sidekick dynamic rankings tool, which you can check out at legendaryupside.com/sidekick. And pretty soon we're going to be launching for DraftKings as well. So it's already live on Underdog. DraftKings functionality around the corner.
Sick. All right, Pat, thank you very much for joining, brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you too, man. Later, guys.
Have a great day, man.
See you later, man.
Farid, everyone wants to know, man, have you told your girlfriend that you won Best Ball Mania 4 yet?
Yeah, she found out. She saw one of the interviews on. I just showed her anyways. It's not like a bummer that she found out. It's just she just doesn't understand fantasy football, so
no, they
not to her.
For sure. No one I gotta enter on my phone. So what's your drafting been like thus far? Are you doing you told me you were doing a bunch of slows. Is that still the case?
Yeah, I first started out going crazy with like way too many slow drafts, and I couldn't. Everything was just all puppies, and I couldn't even like find some of my drafts. But I got all those completed, and then now I've got about 200 active, which is a sweet spot for me. across
200
all.
active slows.
Yeah, 200 slows active, and then I'll go to California or Arizona to do some fast drafts.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So I'm in about 200 slows right now too. It's pretty it's pretty crazy. Like you're on the clock. Do you make your picks all the time, or do you just like check in like once every 6 hours?
I do both. Like, I make sure that whenever the clock is on 11, that I'm picking faster because you got some guys on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, so I'm trying to get their clocks because they'll pick too fast, and I'll only get 8 hours.
Yep.
And if I don't have all my picks in, I'll wake up to an auto draft.
The worst. Though it is the absolute worst to wake up to an auto draft. I've had that happen a couple of times. All right, we are picking at the 9th overall pick in Best Ball Mania 5.
Go ahead.
Honestly, not one of my favorite spots. What's just kind of your overall reaction to the market this year? What do you think about the crazy wide receiver stuff? Like what is just your overall reaction to the market thus far?
Right now, I was just reacting to them saying Kyler Murray's not going to play in the preseason, but to the market so far here, I think Amon Ra is for this format. I like him better in weekly winners or maybe a different format for where he's at.
Yeah, I agree. I take Justin Jefferson over him every single time. I mean, I have 3.6% of Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm not that into him. Yeah, what spot did you win from? Did you win from the 9 spot?
From the wheel.
From the wheel. Oh man, from the
Yeah,
wheel. Okay.
from the
All right,
wheel.
let's
Yeah.
we might need to think about that. All right, you good with AJ Brown? Do you want Puka? Do you want Garrett Wilson? What are you thinking?
EJ Brown's my guy. That's
All
who
right.
I'm getting a lot of.
All right. Farid is in on AJ Brown. Very weird stuff happening at the turn right now with I bet Deebo Samuel ends up going with one of these picks right here before we can come back up. People are really this has got to be a Jordan Love team, right? We got to be jamming the Packers here in honor of your Best Ball Mania 4 win.
We can finesse a Jordan Love team. Some of them are hard to get, but we can finesse a team if the Dattavion Wicks news, or not news, but the depth chart kind of
Yeah.
uncertainties was the best thing. That
You
was
know,
the
to be
easiest stack
honest,
to get.
I'm not sweating it. I think the thesis for
Me
him
neither.
is the same, which is he just is going to end up outplaying one of those 3 guys ahead of him. I think that's how
Yeah,
it's
and
going to go.
we don't know if Christian Watson actually has a hamstring either, so he could just
It's true.
get back in there and become Christian Watson again.
Absolutely. All right, Deebo did go 110. I told you, man. It's
Wow, I haven't even seen that yet. I haven't got a chance to since all this news. Wow, that's crazy, man.
people are just going to jam him. What do we're going to be able to take one dude I really love here, depending
I
on. All
got
right, do you
heavy
want to take
Debo. Who do you like here?
Gibbs or Nico?
We've got a lot of both. So
Yeah, I
we've
got a lot of
got
both.
AJ Brown.
Yes.
I think Nico.
Nico, welcome to the team.
Yeah.
I love Nico. This sets us up to take advantage of, we can either take Hurts right at ADP, but it also sets us up to maybe take a falling Stroud at 81 if we
Oh,
want. And
man, I needed to see this draft board before, man. I would have definitely if I would have seen this before, I definitely would have taken Gibbs but he's
Gibbs.
fallen even more. So maybe another drafts you get him even later today.
I think
But
Gibbs. I think Gibbs is going to be a little bit of a faller during all of this because people are going to feel less comfortable with whatever wide receiver that they're taking right here. So, like, if you take Deebo at 10, I mean, you understand Deebo's been like way later than that for a bunch of this, and like Puka's injured, so I want to take 2 wide receivers. And
yeah,
CMC did
I've
just
got
call
heavy.
Brandon Ayuk a former teammate on the NFL Network.
Ooh, it's official. I've got heavy Debo bags and Ayuk bags, so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, where
Where
he's
do you
going.
want with the Ayuk bags? Where do you want him to be traded to?
I'm okay with New England or Pittsburgh. I'm okay with
Pittsburgh,
that.
I think, would be bad. New England, I think, would be fun. New England, I think, would be sick.
Yeah, I'd like to see him succeed in New England. I've got all my Javon Baker and Jalen Polk shares I could say goodbye to, but I'd rather have George Pickens as the wide receiver one over there.
True, but I mean, if May is balling out, then it just doesn't even matter. And that's what I think. I mean, I just think Drake May is a really good player, and Ayuk, Polk, Baker is like that's a very good offense. Gibson chipping in. I guess the offensive line is really bad.
Yeah,
All
we're
right,
missing all the news, breaking news.
I know. I mean, that's what happens, dude. The calendar turns to August. Training camp goes nuts. There's someone getting injured every single day. Dudes are getting in fights at practice. All right, we are about back up in 3 picks. This is always a pick that sucks. This like exact pick that we are about to make right here, where like I think there's like that elite tier of wide receiver is kind of gone. What do you
Yeah,
normally do here?
I love zero RB, but like you said, when that elite tier wide receiver goes, sometimes it makes more sense to go another route with your structure, like elite QB, elite tight end, or a running back. But
Yeah,
Derrick Henry's not a guy I would usually take here
same.
either.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, and Laporta's it's too early for Laporta.
you want to take Tank and just double up on the Texans?
Yeah, you can double stack CJ Stroud. It's
All
either
right.
that or Zay Flowers. So
So I think I
let's
mean
go with that.
shit. Maybe we should have taken Flowers, but I took Dell. I took
But a
Dell.
lot of people
Flowers would have been fine.
would have been fine, but a lot of people also probably have that combo of Nico with Flowers
Definitely.
versus
Definitely.
both of them.
And I mean, we took Nico a little bit ahead of ADP. Like we took him ahead of London. We took him ahead of Gibbs. So that makes it a little bit weird. I honestly have Flowers ranked right at ADP. I think he's like very fine where he goes. I don't sweat it too much one way or the other.
Same for me.
All right. 3 wide receivers, AJ
I'm
Brown,
ready.
Nico, Dell. We're about up. What do you want to do here?
I mean, I like Pacheco. If we want to go running back route, I like Pacheco.
I like Pacheco too. Boom.
I like a good running back in a good offense.
I don't get a ton of him because I do so many of these zero running back teams. And if you have A-Chain or Kyron, then you can't do like running back. Like it's not that strong. So with the 3 running back start, I like it. And I would love for the Diggs drafter. Where is the Diggs drafter? I would love for him to take one of these elite quarterbacks because then that'll really help us get Stroud. I hope he takes Lamar or Hurts.
Yeah, I really hope he does too, because that guy could be our only issue. Because his ADP is at 56 or somewhere around there. CJ
No,
Stroud.
like 72. It's 56 on
Oh,
DK.
72.
It's
Okay.
really high on DK. He did. He took Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
So bang. All right. So we're gonna try and push CJ Stroud to 81 probably instead of taking him at 64. This guy, we already saw it. We already saw the calf injury stuff happen. Christian McCaffrey goes with the 2nd pick instead of the 1st pick. Neighbors and Cup. Are you where are you at on Cooper Kupp versus Puka with this with the Puka injury news? Are you a young guy drafter with Puka? Are you Cooper Kupp breakfast club guy?
I liked Cooper Cup before Puka got this injury, and then now he got the injury. I mean, I'm fine with more of Cooper Cup, obviously, but I'm not sure the injury's that bad. Is it that bad? He's just going to be out till game
No,
one.
it doesn't actually seem that bad at all. It seems like basically a precautionary thing. Like he didn't have to. I think they said he didn't even have to get an MRI or anything like that on it. Like it was just like some swelling. So yeah, I have seen this before. I have seen. In fact, we were doing a draft 2 weeks ago where we saw Amon-Ra, Gibbs, and Laporta on the same team, and the guy completely fumbled the bag, like drafted like one of the worst teams I've ever seen with absolute gift start. So don't count your chickens before they hatch. Yeah, one of the beat writers said the Puka injury was just like nothing. Like it just didn't matter.
Okay,
So I'm
because I
not.
got a decent amount of him too, so I wasn't sure how bad it was.
Yeah, I think honestly, I'm trying to think of any of the guys who are injured right now that I'm really sweating that hard. I don't think any of the early guy injuries I'm really sweating all that much, really. All right.
Yeah, I haven't had any scares yet. What are we doing here?
I
We got
normally would take
one,
I would normally
three.
take a Chiefs wide receiver here, any of them. We could take Kittle if we're really trying to buy this 49ers rise. We could take no, we're going to save Richardson. We're going to save Richardson for someone else because we're going to try and push Stroud. So we can kind of let the room decide. Cook goes, so I think we're probably not going to take a running back here. Damn, Lamar is still there.
Worthy goes. Lamar's
Worthy
fallen
goes.
in ADP by quite a bit.
Lamar 10 spots past ADP with 2 Texans.
You can bet that
Yeah, I
that
think we.
he run. You can bet that he runs and uses his legs, and then
Yeah, I think let's
running
do
back
that.
with.
Lamar 10 spots after ADP. Yeah, because how many people? I bet that is a super unique combo. Lamar and Pacheco. I bet that's super rare with the Texans guys. You can't do that on this side on that right side of the board. It's like impossible.
Yeah,
You have to have
this is a nice takeoff. This is a
yeah.
nice. This is something I try to do with other quarterbacks too, where I'll take 2 pass catchers on the other end of the game on week 17. And this is looks like a nice one to do that
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
Lamar. And
the Mark Andrews guy was right to the right of us, and he's mad. He's having a bad time. He thought he was about to get
ooh,
a really nice discount, and we are going to run into having a nice wide receiver here for us as well. I'm fine with Reed, Adunze, or Watson. I mean, we got to get at least one Packers wide receiver on this team. I mean, come on, bro.
yeah, I really like.
Was
Let's see here let's see who this guy picks.
I know this guy. This is my this is my buddy Andy. I've known him for a long time. So he takes Adunze,
Okay,
Reed, or
I really like
Watson.
Christian Watson. I really like Christian Watson, but I just set the price Reed is at. If he fell him ADP, we can take him if you want. If you
And
want to take
Reed was
that
on
ADP value.
your winning team, right?
Yeah, that's why I love him so much. But his price is expensive, but he fell in ADP here, so a little
Come
bit.
on.
So I like that.
We gotta respect. So with Liam, we took Jamar Chase, which was his big winning player. With Herzig, I took Kamara, which was his big winning player. I guess we didn't really do it. We didn't really do it with Kerrane. We didn't take Austin Eckler or Tyquan Thornton, but we gotta respect the $1 million winning players. This team, honestly, this team fucks. This is a really good start.
You and Kerrane took Quentin Johnson or Tyquan Thornton 2.0. Who was it? The other, not Quentin Johnson. So it's another guy out.
Oh, we almost took Traylon Burks.
Braylon Burks. You think
Yeah.
that's Tyquan Thornton 2.0?
No, we took Troy Franklin. We took Troy Franklin as Tyquan Thornton
Oh,
2.0. So we just need him to
all
show
right.
up, score 2 touchdowns, and then we'll never hear from him again. Basically, is the thesis there. Are you saying that you like Christian Watson straight up over Jaden Reed? I could agree with that, honestly.
I gotta do if he's healthy. He said he's seeing a specialist like Cooper Cup did. So if he can even be like half of like what as healthy as Cooper Cup was, and he can still get there. Just he's valuable in the red zone.
100%.
And
Yeah, I mean,
it's like Mike Evans, pretty much.
they when Watson has been on the field with Reed, with Wicks, with Dobbs, with Musgrave, with all of them, he has out-earned them in targets every time. Like when he's on the field, he earns targets more than all those dudes. It's just a matter of how healthy can the dude be? And I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor, but it did that story about him having a 20% muscle disparity in his hamstrings, and then now it's only at like 8% or whatever. I mean, that seems like a pretty big deal, right? Like that's a crazy disparity.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I think a lot of guys are seeing hamstring specialists ever since Cooper Cup did.
I mean, the Cooper Cup thing is crazy, dude. Like there was there's this guy you probably don't know who's in the DFS space. His name is CJ Kaltenbach, and he was telling everyone he had sources that Cooper Cup was going to retire when he had the hamstring thing last year. Didn't end up happening.
Yeah, I remember
all
CJ. I remember him.
All right. So Stroud is still there, but I think since we took Lamar, we don't have to take him. You want to do a running back here?
Yeah, we don't want to spend that on Stroud. Let's spend it on a tight end. Or do we have a tight end yet?
No, we don't have a tight end yet. We've got Ingram, we got Ferguson. Could try
not really.
we could try and push Bowers to 105. He probably won't get there.
Which running backs do you like here? I usually go with Jones or Ramondre.
Yeah, I love Ramondre. Bang,
Okay,
let's do
that's
it.
a guy I
Yeah,
like a lot early too.
I'm a big fan of Ramondre. I like that. I think he might run. Patriots might run. They might be the most run heavy team in the NFL based on the total number of plays they run, like run rate over expectation or whatever. All right. Aaron Jones goes. I would not have mind double tapping and taking Aaron Jones back.
Yeah, that would have been a good bring back because we have Jaden Reed, but that's okay. Aaron Jones
all
has
right. We're really
prior
all
injuries
right.
and stuff.
We could take a tight end here, or we could take a running back. I was going to say Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren is who I wanted. We got Brooks, Mostert, Moss, Pollard, Brian Robinson, Chase Brown, or Ferguson or Bowers at tight end, or CJ Stroud at pick 88.
I mean, is he gonna fall that much in ADP again and pass on him, or we take a running back? That's
I think shit.
what's
I'm at the run.
what do we need more?
The clock just ran out on me. We definitely need a running back more. I think there's
Okay.
like a 2% chance that I didn't even realize this. We actually just got saved. Stroud and Lamar have the same bye. I did not even realize that. That would have been super annoying.
Yeah, we needed a running back. We needed a running back more as more valuable there. To spend that on Stroud would have been a mistake.
Yes, it would have been
even at that
yes.
spot.
Yeah.
Even without the bye week thing, but that would suck. And they play each other in week 17, so that's not a good stretch.
So that's not that great. Yeah, Mostert was on your team too, right?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well then, perfect.
We did have Mostert.
Yeah, then we are guys, we are dancing. I meant to do that the whole time. You guys are tripping. You think that an experienced streamer like me, you think I would make a mistake like that? I knew what was going on the whole time. I knew that Mostert
But
was the right pick.
aren't you worried about Jalen Wright though?
Actually, I'm really not. Honestly, I think if
Oh.
Mostert stays healthy, I mean, which is crazy because he's 32. He's literally the oldest running back in the NFL. But if he does stay healthy, they're not gonna bench him. Like Raheem Mostert is not getting benched by Mike McDaniel. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like we never would have known who Devin Achane was. I actually just reminded myself of this. But what happened last year was Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. got injured. So Jeff Wilson Jr. started out the year as the second running back. Then he got injured. Then Mostert got banged up. Achane wasn't even active in week 1 last year. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I remember they both had injury concerns, him and then Jeff Wilson, and then Raheem Mostert just ran hot, and then Achane got healthy.
Yeah, super, super hot. I wonder, I mean, dude, there is a chance we are 6 picks away. There's definitely, like, Stroud might come all the way back around. And I think at 105, we just take him, and then we take a quarterback in round 18 or something. Yeah, that was it. It was Savon Ahmed started ahead of Achane in week 2. It happened. Okay, Stroud went, so we don't have to worry about it. Stroud went unstacked, uncorrelated. So that guy is going to take Dalton Schultz coming back around. Oh, damn. Jordan Love goes. That's fine. All right. We are about up. We can kind of take any position here. What are you thinking?
If Njoku's not there, then we're gonna have to go with.
He's gone.
He's gone. We're gonna be weak at tight end, but that's okay. We'll have to go
Yeah.
with Zach. I'd either go with Zach Moss or a receiver. I don't see any.
Lockett,
You have
Shakir,
Brian
Wicks.
Robinson.
Yeah. Brian Robinson, Moss, Pollard, Brian Robinson, Spears, Singletary, Javonte, a running back. Yeah, this is what do you think at running back? Yeah, it's pretty ugly. I think Moss as a faller now, I kind of like. I mean, I'm more of a Chase Brown guy, but Moss as a faller, I kind of like. Or Javonte, but it's by my rankings. Actually, it's Brian Robinson by my rankings.
Let's go Brian Robinson because that was my second thought. So yeah.
There we go. Bang. Brian Robinson Jr., welcome to the team. All right, we're definitely going to have to take a wide receiver with this next pick, and it might be kind of a gross one, but you know, it is what it is. You don't gotta take Moss there. Yeah, Moss might fall. Nah, but we got to take a wide receiver with this next pick, I think.
Moss there isn't a bad pick either, but it's more of like a safer pick to take Moss there. We could have gone with that since we have Mostert, but
I mean, we honestly could just be good with 4 running backs. Pacheco, Ramondre, Mostert, Robinson is pretty good. We could take a 5th if we want, but we could also, if we decide we're too weak at wide receiver. All right, dude.
Moss. I was gonna say if Moss falls, we gotta get him, but he just went right there. Javante just went to damn. Okay.
Wicks or Judy, I think.
Jerry
Where
Judy.
you at there? Judy?
I like Jerry Judy. Yeah.
Gives us another another quarterback actually. So right now we've got Watson. That's all we've got. Yeah, that's okay. That's our only out. So that was definitely the right pick. Yeah, 6% Kittle, 6% Kittle right now does not feel like enough. Let me tell you. it definitely feels like I need to. Yeah, shit. I wish I had like 13% of him right now. Ayuk getting traded. I think that's the best. It's the biggest upgrade for any 49er directly to Kittle because Kittle was like their 4th target a lot of weeks. It's gonna be absolutely massive for him.
Yeah, he's gonna be a great. He's my favorite tight end, and then Njoku after him. I like
In
Kincaid too, but
Njoku.
yeah, I
You
like Njoku.
are you
I consider Njoku in the elite tight end category, but just a sleeper.
okay? Yeah, I probably need to get hip to Njoku. The thing is Bowers is my most drafted tight end, so a lot of the time in that range, I'm taking Bowers. So I probably need to try and even that one out a little bit more. And man, this is definitely an Isaiah Likely team. If we don't get Isaiah Likely on this team, then I don't know if we're going to be able to defend your crown and win the $1.5 million, dude.
Yeah, because Mark Andrews is dropping the ball at training camp, so he's tight end number one is Isaiah Likely. So
So that's what I'm hearing. No, I guess they say this every year, but they're saying that we are going to be looking at a bunch more 2 tight end sets. They're saying, likely's learning all the routes, yada yada, all this stuff. I mean, we'll see. Kind of a faller here for Dontavian Wicks. He gets all the way to 116. I've not seen him go behind Jerry Jeudy very many times.
wow,
Yeah.
and he took Jordan Love right before him, so he got just what he wanted. So
He got just what he wanted. That's always annoying to me. I hate seeing other drafters in my same room getting exactly what they wanted. Is this a naked Lamar team?
same.
No, it's never a naked Lamar team because you can always take Bateman, you can always take Devontae Walker, you can always take Likely. I mean, I've got a lot of Devontae Walker, so
Sorry
maybe
if I
that's not
yelled
that
at
great.
this for the audio people. Sorry if I yelled. That shit was kind of loud.
Yeah.
We got
Okay.
Devontae Walker too, right?
Yeah, that's my boy. I'm big on him. I think he's a really strong prospect. For the audio people, AJ Brown, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Isaiah Pacheco, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Reed, Ramondre Stevenson, Raheem Mostert, Brian Robinson Jr., Jerry Jeudy. So we're a little light at tight end, and that's it. Otherwise, I think we're doing good. CLN, I'm not hating on you, but I do hate to not have the strongest team in my draft. So when I see you get exactly what you want, that makes me I'd rather get exactly what I want. All right, what are you thinking for this next pick? Do you want to get a tight end out of the way here?
Yeah, we have to. And sometimes I'm a beta, and I take 2 tight ends back to back whenever I get in situations like this where I'm weak at tight end. But we don't have to do that if there's another value there.
True. I do like Freiermuth. I don't see any other obvious, there's not like a wide receiver value that I'm jumping over.
The only thing I see there is Rico Dowdle is the only other thing. If you wanted to get one more running back and end it there, that's the only
Let's
other guy I
take
see there. It's like
let's take the okay, wait, let's see. How many tight ends do we got between us? We got one guy who's got 2 tight ends. We got one guy who has Kittle, one guy who has Kelsey. So we can probably push Freiermuth. I think he's unlikely to go. Dowdle's more likely to go. So we're going to take Dowdle. You good with that? I guess I should have asked before I clicked it.
no, that was like the alpha play right there.
Yeah.
I would have been monkey brain just like clicking buttons and just lost Rico
You know,
Dowdle right there.
what's funny is I normally that's very new to me, like thinking of like looking at the board like that. Ever since I started streaming, like this board view, I would have never done like a month ago. This is like totally new to me, or I'm just like normally just clicking buttons or whatever. So, they say it's plus EV to draft with the streamers, but maybe it's not, bro. Maybe it's not. Maybe you're giving up the EV drafting against these big brain streamers. All right. This dude takes Tua.
Yeah.
Hulk goes. Chubb goes. What are we? Yeah, this is gonna have to be a 3 tight end team. Even if we get Freiermuth, I think it needs to be 3 because I think this team is too good to lose out on tight end points. I think we've got a good one cooking here.
Yeah, I like this
Bang.
team so far. Nice.
All right, we got him. We got him.
There
Liam
we
said.
go.
Liam said this is the
That's
first
right.
year you looked at the draft board. Yeah, Liam. You think here's the secret. Not only is this the first year that I've really looked at the at the draft board, like basically this is the first year I've ever drafted on the computer in general. I draft on my phone. Like I draft on my phone 99% of the time. And if you guys like if you ever see me in a draft room and I'm not on stream, I'm doing it on my phone. I'm walking my dog, I'm at the gym, I'm doing something. I'm on my phone. Do you do phone or computer, Farid?
I'm on my phone. I can't do the computer thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
It does. It's like if I'm at my computer, I will get too distracted. Like if I'm on my computer and I'm not working, like if I'm not doing a stream, I'm gonna have Discord up, I'm gonna have Slack up, I'm gonna have Twitter up, I'm gonna have a YouTube video playing, I'm gonna have headphones on. Like I'm literally gonna forget that I'm in a draft. Yeah, I'm gonna it's just not gonna work. So I gotta do it. I gotta do it on the phone. Because I feel like on the phone, I can lock in.
Yeah, I'm locked in on the phone. I can have like in the weekly winners format, I can have my schedules up and try to coordinate what pick I want to take based on what the schedules look like. I can have different schedules on different screens and then draft on my phone. I feel I'm locked in more that way than having a draft board pulled up
Yeah.
on one of the screens.
What do you think about the tools? What do you think about the draft caddy, about the sidekick, about these extension tools? What do you think about those?
I like them. I get behind the paywall and I got a couple of them and I've been
Yeah,
experimenting with them, but I haven't been confident enough to rely on
like
just the
turn it
tools.
over.
I've just
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
I'm looking
100%.
into it.
Yeah, I'm 100% with that. Like I use the draft caddy. Just I mean, it lists the week 17 correlations. Not that I don't have all of them memorized, but I like it because it shows me the buckets. I like the buckets to be like you don't have enough wide receivers, you don't have enough you don't have enough running backs or whatever. Yeah, and look, I know some of the guys don't. I know some of the guys don't like the tools. I mean, look, like I just said, I don't use the tools all the time because I'm on my phone a ton of the time. So, I'd sound like I'm
I mean,
saying that you're losing.
these tools are already in your brain pretty much. Like I kind of got an idea what percentage of guys I got if I'm just
Yep.
frequently checking in on my exposures and I got them this week 17 schedule like in my memorized.
You want to do
Oh shit.
Bateman?
Okay, it's on us.
Yeah, it's on us. Bateman is the correlation. I like Michael Wilson a lot. I like Wandale a lot. What are you thinking?
I like Michael Wilson more than Bateman.
Cool.
I know you're trying to get
No, but
stacked with Lamar, but
let's take good players though. Let's take good players. Good players are going to help you win.
yeah, I
Yeah,
also think
that's the thing.
he's better.
The tools are not revolutionary. They are just a helper. They allow me to draft more teams and they allow me to draft more teams well, but it's not like running the Sims for poker where it can like literally tell you correct decision making, like that's not how it works.
Yeah, it's a you can randomize and do the same thing without the tools,
Yeah.
but with the tools, you can if you have a coin flip there, you can see your percentages, but without them, you're kinda trying to do it in your head anyways.
Yeah, the extensions do not send any data back to the tool creators. It's all data. It's all data that's publicly available. That's all. And then whatever data you have that you submit to it, you can upload your own CSV in your extension, but that's all. That's all that it is. All right. I think that we take Isaiah Likely with this next pick ahead of ADP because we're gonna be so bummed out if he goes and we don't have him. What do you think? Or do you want to try and push it?
Pull up tight ends because 'cause we're not really desperate at any position, so we should
Fant,
probably
Conklin,
reach
Otten.
yeah, we
Wide
should reach
receivers,
what's the bye week?
gross. Oh, good call. 9 and 14. Likely is 14.
Likely's 14. Conklin's 12. There goes
Yeah.
Conklin.
There goes Conklin.
Okay.
Yeah. And this dude is going to take, I bet this guy takes Wandale, actually. Fuck.
Okay,
He did it. He
we're
did it to us,
scrambling.
bro. We're scrambling.
Thanks, bro. Really appreciate this.
He did that. He did that just to troll. I mean, let's take Fant then, right?
Yeah, we're desperate. It's
Uh,
Chig,
uh,
Fant, Jawan, Ray Davis.
Fant, welcome to the team. Hey, man. Naked Lamar can win $1.5 million. Absolutely.
Yeah, it'll be Keaton Mitchell and Lamar week 17. You know, pass run option. He'll do
Absolutely.
it
I
all by
mean,
himself. RPO.
there's absolutely no reason that Lamar Jackson can't. Yeah. Also, how about this? Scrambling at quarterback is what got Farid the winner last year. How about it? How about it?
Yeah, the QB tutties.
The QB tutties. Yeah. I mean,
you want touchdowns.
Lamar runs for 6 touchdowns in the fantasy football playoffs. Guess what, buddy? We're sitting pretty. I mean, we could take Justice Hill. We could take Nelson Aguilar. We could take Rasheen Ali. We could take Devontae Walker. We got infinite options, bro. They're trying to box us out. We're boxing them out. They got nothing on this
Yeah,
team.
we didn't want Likely anyways.
Yeah, that was a
Houston's really good.
psyop.
Houston used to be really good. Used to be really bad against tight ends, but they really plugged that leak. So
Yeah, so they're chilling.
sucks for him.
Yeah. It is the Ravens signed Russell Gage today, so it seems not great. Maybe that means they're gonna cut Devontae Walker. I hope not. Let's check and make sure he's healthy. I literally should Google that and make sure, because he did injure his ankle. Yeah, no, he's fine. He's fine.
I saw them get Russell Gage, but I wasn't sure what that meant. Just like Miami signed Will Fuller and OBJ.
True.
Could just be something like that.
Yeah. I guess we also should think about what we want to do for second quarterback. There is one guy I really like. I don't know how you feel about him. Do you like Justin Fields?
Yeah, it's toxic, man. I like Justin Fields. It's someone that I'm high on Justin Fields. I know nobody likes him, but I like him as a fantasy football player.
I mean, I really like him in fantasy football as well. I think the community is now catching up with you, bro. I think the community is now coming back into Justin Fields as a fantasy option. All right, we are up in 3 picks. We've got 1 quarterback, 5 running backs, 6 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Jermaine Burton is still kind of sitting there. He is a pretty good option, I think, in round 15. Fields is sitting right there. We don't really have, because Watson went, so we don't really have a great stack set up. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm guessing McMillan went. Fields just went. I was gonna say Baker with McMillan, but he just went. So
McMillan did go. We could do. Well, we could take any Patriots wide receiver.
Yeah, that's the only way we're gonna get a stack.
Or Troy Franklin and Mims, or Troy Franklin and Nix.
Yeah, let's go with Denver.
You want Denver?
Yeah, we have who do they play week 7?
Oh, I thought we had a Bengal, but we didn't end up making them. All right, we got Troy Franklin. We're gonna have to scramble. We're gonna have to scramble. Oh yeah. Oh damn. Damn, we just remembered. New England has the same bye as Lamar. New England and Denver have the same bye. Yeah. Wow. The chat just saved us, bro. The chat just I always do this. Yeah.
Adam just saved us, man. The first man.
Yeah.
The first man of mankind just saved us. Thank you, Adam.
I always forget when I have a Lamar team that's what happens, that we get into these spots. All right, we got to take Gino. Gino, come on down. Thank you. Welcome to the team. That was a little bit early on Troy Franklin, but whatever. Gino and Lamar. Gino and Lamar is that's a grown ass man quarterback room. That's a quarterback
What
room
are
that
their
don't
bye
take no
weeks?
shit.
What
We
are their bye weeks?
have week 14 and week 10. So we got
Gino's week 10.
yes, yeah, they're different.
So Gino will just come in the second half and start heating up second half of the season, and week 14 cover our Lamar spot.
That's all we need. And we need one. Well, really, we need Noah Fant. We need Noah Fant to ship.
Become Fant
He was
Jesus. He needs to turn it up, man.
correct. Yeah. All right. We got 2 more picks left to make. One of them definitely needs to be a Raven. Who's your favorite shitty Raven to take? There are a lot of them.
Let's pull up receiver, and we're good on running backs, right?
Yeah, we got our running back room is Pacheco, Ramondre, Mostert, Brian Robinson, Dowdle. That's probably too good of a running back room. Honestly, it's like, do we even need that many? Do we even need that many points? Probably not. So let's overdoing it a little bit.
I like that running back stopping at 5 there. I think that's perfect for me.
Wide receivers. It's a lot of the guys here at the bottom: Boyd, Baker, Slayton, Hyatt, Traylon, Odell, Zay Jones. No one that you're really loving on. Yeah, likely getting sniped was not ideal, but what can you do? The rooms giveth and they taketh. Can you even select Russell Gage? Is Russell Gage even? He is in the player pool. Russell Gage joins the Baltimore wide receiver. He is. We learned today that Russell Gage is in the player pool.
He would be the guy to pop off on Houston week 17. A guy
That's
like
true.
that.
Yeah, nothing would piss me off more, honestly, than shorting Russell Gage his entire career. And if he came back and did that, I'd be out. What's the Jake Bobo exposure at? Cool 0%, sir. Cool 0% on Jake Bobo.
Sad. But that's because Chadson is him.
True. All right. Let's just be honest. There's one guy that is going to complete this team, and we just really got to avoid W Dunks or Bradley Maddox taking him to tilt us. All right, there we go. Devontae Walker.
We actually didn't get sniped, Davis. Okay, I'm surprised. We didn't get sniped.
This is beautiful. All right. Thank you, everyone. That was a group effort. Thank you for letting us get that one across the line. Whew. All right. That would have been very annoying, man. That would have been very annoying to not want this Walker. All right. Final pick, Farid. This is the final pick of the stream with all 4 winners of Best Ball Mania. You get to make it. Who do you want to pick?
Desperate tight end punt. We're going to punt tight end.
Okay.
Because what are the bye weeks we got with their
9
guys?
and 10.
9
so
and 10. Okay.
We're pretty clean on these.
Okay. So we've got Lamar and we've got Gino. So yeah, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. We got Eagles wide receiver, 2 Texans wide receiver, a Green Bay wide receiver, a Browns wide receiver, Arizona, Denver, and Baltimore.
Let's go with let's see what Tanner does. He took Slayton. I'm thinking about Colby Parkinson. So if Chuck Base doesn't need 4 tight ends and doesn't snipe,
we should be clean here. And this Colby is a bring back on Arizona. All right, there we go. Colby
That's what I want.
Parkinson, the final draft pick of the Best Ball Mania 4 stream with Herzig, with Liam, with Kerrane, with Farid is, of course, it had to be Colby Parkinson. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it be Colby Parkinson? All right, the team. Let's see how we feel. AJ Brown, Nico Collins, Tank Dell. I think we're feeling pretty good about that. We like the Pacheco pick. We love Lamar falling after ADP. We got Jaden Reed to bring back the winning team from last year. We got Ramondre. We got Mostert from the winning team last year. Brian Robinson Jr., Judy, Rico Dowdle, Freiermuth, Michael Wilson, Noah Fant. I wish I had this Troy Franklin pick back. I realized that that was a bad pick. That was not smart. We should have done something, because I didn't realize the bye weeks. I didn't realize week 14. So I probably would have taken Dortch, Gino, Devontae Walker, Colby Parkinson. Farid, how we feeling, bro? Did we draft a winner?
I'm not feeling great about the tight ends, but if Pat Freiermuth, if Ayuk doesn't go to Pittsburgh, then yeah, we're good.
So yeah, okay, all right.
We got the winner. Ship it.
All we need to do is fade all the noise, all the buzz. You know, Schefter saying it, Rap Sheet saying it. So we just got to fade that, and we just got to and also we did get sniped on Justin Fields too. So that's super fucking annoying. You can't win them all. You can't win them all. It happens on the backside of the board. Friedman, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for joining the show, dude.
Appreciate you too, brother. It's nice being on the show. I'm stoked. Let's keep drafting.
Yeah, so let's keep drafting. Everyone, I am gonna get out of here after this. There is if your home leagues are getting ready to go, I got my cheat sheet pulled up. You can get that on my Twitter. You can get that here on the YouTube page. It's right here. It's $5. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a cheat sheet for your fantasy football home league. It's got color-coded tiers and everything like that. Pretty sick. I will be back on Thursday morning as well. The stream was incredible. I had an absolute blast. This was like, Freed, bro, this was the biggest stream that we've done. This is like the most views by a mountain load. So it was very cool. And I definitely could not have done it without all you guys. People were super stoked for all of the BBM winners. So everyone, make sure that you like the video. Make sure that you comment on the video, please. Please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all of that stuff. And I love all you guys, man. Thank you so much for helping me live my dream. And we will be back on Thursday morning. Peace out.